super low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'll be in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No? They know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detailed, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches.
So many alternatives. Good evening and welcome to round 18 of the second season of 2024. Where Western United Lockhorns with the Altona Knights to kick off one of the closing rounds of the season. My name's Adam Plomby. Alongside me is Western United youth player, that of Isho Haskill. Isho, welcome to the commentary gantry here in Thomastown.
Always a pleasure, Adam. Always a pleasure.
It's quite the start to the night, considering today's weather across the state has been very topsy-turvy, but the sun is beaming upon the Series Futsal Arena here in Thomastown, which will make the conditions rather dry inside our courts. Rather hot, it must be said. Of course, we have a bit of elevation in comparison to those players on court at the moment, but tell me, Isho, as a player yourself, when it's rather warm in here, how does that impact the game?
Oh, honestly, it feels just up and down when you're, especially as a keeper as well, you know. I always have my towel handy in the back just for, you know, for the hot weather in this stadium. Feels like a sauna every time, but it can get cool, it can get hot, but it really depends on experience as well.
For the froth that might be on the court, but a lot of experience also on it. Fernando de Moraes has a player jersey on this evening. He was, of course, alongside Suleiman, the Western United coach for some weeks, but it looks as if Fernando will be playing. Tell you what though, Bisho, both sides this evening looking rather different. Nico Ignatiadis doing some star jumps before ultimately having his team photo. Both sides, however, looking rather fresh with personnel. So we look to tonight's lineups provided by Weefroth. Angus and Jerry Angelatos, the brothers, are in the starting lineup. Finlay Kerridge, a name also featured. Elias Parthamos, Darcy Scoppolidis, the man aforementioned, Fernando de Moraes, Felipe Evangelista, Jose Sakurada, Saka Maljaran, and Gabriel Murray, donning the number 2. Looks as if Risho, he's got him a nod this evening in goal.
Yeah, well, with Gabriel, I'm pretty sure he's in Australia or Futsal Rouge setup as well. So hopefully he will make an impact for Western with the absence of Aren.
looking towards Nico Gnardiadis' side. Still no Flanel Saric, the force field. Not here this evening yet again. It's been rather difficult without him, it must be said, for the Knights. As they line up like such, is Mario Bosnjak, the goalkeeper, the man in blue, and we haven't seen in some time on a serious futsal court. Yanni Pira, Michael Latini, Berard Bezaport, Thomas Atoli, Seb Locke, Damien Rasticic and Daniel Rushi all complete the lineup. Sasahiro Takazaki, another name in which remains rather foreign to us. So a lot of new players making their appearances, their maiden ones of that, to kick off round 18. United in recent weeks, Isho, how have you found their form?
For Western United, sorry? Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, Western United's form has been pretty good this season. We've seen big improvement, but honestly, it's just hard work pays off, and a lot of teams, it's whoever wants it on the night. So it's more of, yeah, whoever wants it on the night, basically. So.
Of course, well, you look at United and their setup in the Youth League that was played out last night, despite a loss to Pasco Vale, comfortably in front in terms of the title charge. I mentioned clubs that are on the precipice of building something. Side currently on court in green and black are certainly one that are doing so.
With Western United's senior team, you know, basically all their youth players as well. They've got a very young setup, which is very good for all teams. Even the women's team as well, all young as well. So it's a more of like an under 23s team, which is very good how the team how the club is set up.
For our match officials this evening, Michael Ciaris is the man in charge alongside Anas Mohammed, with Benjamin Cullen as the third official on the touchline. Decent atmosphere building up in the Series Futsal Arena as United with Jerian Galatos have a corner. Saka Walcharan, usually donning his long stylish hair, looks rather sleeker these days as Bezapor out of nothing really wants to test the youngster in goal of Murray, who you feel will be rather busy this evening. The Knights and United have had a few tales over the years which have lent both ways. As Bezapor spins an opposite way while Jaron there to greet him. Yanni Pita barely had the ball. Evangelista cuts out his intended pass for Locke. But the Knights just trying to lock inside their own half, and they've gotten possession back. As Natoli has a glance, Yanni Pita in possession. And finds Seb Locke, and the green and black just trying to settle behind the ball. As a turnover's been made, Evangelista, well, Jarvis arriving.
What a double save by the keeper for Altona. Oh, and it's been called a foul. Pretty sure it was a handball.
Bosnjak being involved very early on, the goalkeeper in blue. Usually Altona have the couple of options in goal. Only the one feature this evening. Darren Virapon not featured for Nico Gnardiadis. Nice Parthamos trying to get busy. Hasn't really found much of the form he experienced in the first season of this year. Of course, the Cannon turned 21. He's been heavily involved in the Youth League. In terms of his men's output, you could say his position might be different, but not really infiltrating many goals.
Elias can play anywhere on the court as well. He's a very talented young player. And yeah, like with Elias, I played against him when I was in under-16s as well, and let's just say he scored a solid 7 goals against me when I was keeper starting, so...
The Cannon is getting busy early, perhaps hearing us all the way on commentary. Well acquainted with Futsalos. Of course, Nicholas Parthamos, his brother, had signed at United and ultimately is out to injury with, dare I say, his knee. Whether it's his meniscus or ACL, we're not too certain yet, but it's rather unfortunate. He found his strides, you could argue, in the championship with Northern Phoenix. Came back to the series men's futsal competition. Of course, is a winner of such with Fitzroy last season. Still a little bit more younger than his older acclaimed brother. The thoughts remain heavily with Nick, and I hope to see him back on the court soon. Evangelista can't really get round, and while considering Altona last week here show heavy loss to Motanka's Black Army, that of Hume FC. 7-0, no goals scored. It feels as if tonight they're out to make a statement and really find some response.
Yeah, well, I think Altona bringing in the new names after last week, which is maybe helping them so far, but obviously it's too early to tell in the game, but so far they're looking very composed. So we'll just have to wait and see how the game goes. There's
a Paul, tried to pick pocket roll Jaren. Managed to go round and doesn't stomp on Yanni Pira, which he nearly could have, considering his momentum. He was shifting that way. As now Western United have a side possession. Really liking the player in which Jerry Angelatos is becoming. Big fan of Angus, who watches on intensively on the bench. As well, Jaren with Yanni Pira. Got his shot away, not too much dip on it. Found Joe in his commissioner's office. Bosnijak this evening have a fair bit to do, and already he's had to pull off a couple of saves. United with the positive start. And having a glance, of course, at the ladder for this season, Western City are well and truly in the trenches, you might argue, considering they have to find some points against Fitzroy this evening. A task in which seems all but improbable of happening. Just following this game at 8:15, it's the replay of what was the Royal Rumble a few rounds ago. Pasco Vale face off against Hume. I like the language used by Motanka last week in the press conference post-match, having quietly positive things to say about Mutio Novak and company, despite their last fixture against each other issue. Not really the sight we like to see in a series futsal arena.
It's just all emotions, honestly. Two teams that are I wouldn't say fighting for relegation, but in that aspect of trying to finish as high as possible. Emotions get the better of people sometimes, and yeah, like obviously you don't like to see it, but sometimes it's part of the game. But at the end of the day, like it's just you just got to keep your head. That's how futsal is sometimes.
Pasco Vale this year have certainly been, since their return to the Promised Lander Series futsal, been rather imposing. Enjoying a decent spell of form also. And it comes to a head, of course, against Hume, who are trying to bounce back and climb out the playoffs. It's all getting a bit stuck together in this late part of the season as well. Jaren flirting with Natoli. Wasn't a check yet again. Shot was rather central. And the man in blue makes another big save. Parthamos, he loves these situations. And Bosnijak made himself big. Usually his breakfast, lunch and dinner for Elias Parthamos, who had a gilded golden opportunity. As well, Jaren could have gone across the face, opted to go himself, goes over the top instead with his head. And United infuriate Nico Gnardiadis as they hit the front. It was building for some time, and it's Sakabal Jaren who breaks the deadlock.
What a player Sakabal Jaren has become in this season. It's been an amazing season for him, for the youngster. He was playing, I'm pretty sure, at Metro last season and in the Fitzroy youth, and Western came and signed him up and said, you know, like, what a player he's becoming, and honestly, it's been a breakout season for him.
Certainly has, and considering on a personal accolade there, Isho, I've come up against him on a social court here in Thomastown, and he was a nightmare to play against. There was no point even trying to defend him on occasion. He wasn't trying, mind you, and well, made us look rather schoolboy.
Can't imagine me, Adam, in the youth league as well versus him.
Didn't matter what position you played, whether it was in goal or on court.
Oh, on court. This is when I was on court. But like I've told Saka as well. He knows himself. He's becoming a very good player, and he's fit into the Western system very well. And you can tell he's exceeding expectations, if you will, in a way.
You cast your mind back to his first major test against Moreland at the start of this season. He didn't just play the game well, he was the best player on court by far. Considering the brace, the goal that equalised for United, the goal that put them in front, or scoring the winning penalty rather. He didn't just look like he was making himself known, he was somewhat making a statement. He's looked very comfortable in the big time since. As United looking rather comfortable themselves at the moment, they're beginning to have a firm grip on the game. They'll have yet another set-piece opportunity to try and find their second of the outing. Evangelista might look to shoot. Certainly was searching for the keeper's near post and wasn't too far away from finding it.
Yeah, Felipe is one of those players that you never know when the ball is going to go in. He's been a very underrated player for Western. People know the name Sakawal Jaron as well, but Felipe Evangelista is one of the players they should be saying as well alongside him.
Certainly has had his fair share to do in the youth competition. We do touch on that a fair bit, considering how promising it has been for many clubs. Of course, FC Carlton Heart, a staple in that competition. Considering their championship form, must make the point that it all starts with the juniors. So Rasticic, well, wasn't liking what we were saying. Kicked it right towards us on commentary. Tell you what, for an emerging player for the Knights, he certainly has some brilliant passes from his defensive half that are long and searching. His finishing just might need a touch more improvement, as Yanni Pitta wanted the foul and will get it. So Rasticic, the man aforementioned, decent user of the futsal ball. He doesn't mind this opportunity. Bosnijak with his best Fran Osaric impersonation perhaps, coming well off his line, flirting with the idea of taking it. As Latini got his angle away to help dispatch the shot. Timoraes will find Parthamos, get it onto his left. They don't really have a genuine connection, must be said, but still sent the keeper into making a save. Sakurada's corner at the back post is Timoraes! Fernando trying to roll back the years. He caught it sweetly off the fly. Initially looked as if a body might have gotten in the way, but it's just gone over the crossbar as Skopalidis ushers it for Murray. Now Parthamos. Can't find anybody. Finds a former World Series teammate of Yanni Pira. Work it back towards Locke. He gets around his former teammate of Sakurada. Yanni Pira couldn't really do much, considering the obscurity of the angle.
I think Altona doing very well at the moment. Compared to last week, they're more composed. They just got to get the shots on target.
Right, as you say that issue, they've pretty much turned over the ball right on the edge of the tee. Meanwhile, progressing towards the opposing one was Parthamos. They were composed, it must be said, but perhaps a welcome to commentating. Anything can happen, especially in futsal, in such a quick matter of seconds. Otherwise, well, your side at the moment are holding the ball rather well. Must be said, it hasn't really been a test from the Knights for Murray in the United goal. And Western United have to be cautious. Well, considering they're conceding a few fouls, that's gone under the radar, in all honesty.
Honestly, I think we've been concentrating on the plays more than the actual fouls. It's gone up to 5 fouls in how long? Probably like 10 minutes.
I'll tell you what, it's all happened in a quick flurry, and Nico Gnardiadis, he wants an equaliser. And Deadlock will fly. And Murray doesn't really have to do too much. His positioning was adequate. Enough to say the least. So Jaren, can United survive without conceding a foul? Well, Jaren's still going! And United find their second. Well, Jaren at the brace. There's been many times we've said that before. And just as Altona had a glimmer of an opportunity to go on equal terms, they could be facing more issues from kickoff. Bezapor, Felipe Evangelista wanted to crash in like he usually does. He was just cautious of what the fouls read on the scoreboard. United enjoying this flurry. Still the threat, of course, of conceding a penalty with the fouls.
What a player, Sakawal Jaren. What a player. He's just showing the league every game by game. Oh, game by game that for a youngster, he has the experience of someone that's been here for ages.
Bezapor tries to chip for Yanni Piro. That is someone you mentioned being here for ages. That is Berard Bezapor. As Nico Gnardiadis has issued a timeout. His side just under a bit of duress at the moment. So we cross to our first timeout break of the evening.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Free kick was taken quickly by the Knights. Getting rather desperate, you could argue, already. Trying to break their duck. It's been some time since they've manufactured a goal in series competition. So last week they hadn't scored from open play. Deadlock counting his lucky stars. Defenders when confronted with that situation. Have to be sure. Nearly a calamity defensively from Deadlock, but ultimately comes away with the ball. Evangelista went in firmly. Alcuciaras with yellow card in his hand, and the Knights will have an opportunity from the dead ball. So a penalty in which Brad Bezapor wants to take. He's come right across towards it. Latini might be trying to see if he's a chance off the bench. Natoli also stepping up to the plate. The Human freight train, of course, much a real esteemed veteran of the competition. But it will be Thomas Natoli. Try find life for the Knights. Denied by the keeper. It's well done from Murray in goal. He loved that little moment. Might have heard the roar all the way from our ambience audio. He was jubilant. You can tell this Western keeper that's been featured tonight, Isho, he loves to come off his line, almost like a sweeper keeper, you could argue, to close out the angle.
Well, that's what comes with experience. That's when you know he's been in, for a youngster as well, actually, he looked like he's very experienced, coming out like that and having the confidence. Against Natoli as well, who's been in this league for a long time. But, yeah, well,
That was
just
very well done.
very close.
That was extremely well done. The reverse effort on goal was the idea, executed by the Knight on that occasion. But I mentioned the keeper's angles. They were rather sound yet again. It's another aspect of futsal where it doesn't matter how old you might be. Given the right training and experience, you can look like you haven't missed a beat. And United are on song. It's a choir at the moment. They're practicing. Well, Jaren involved. Angelatos will finish. That's a brilliant goal. Such creativity in the build-up. Well, it's already panic stations for the Knights, who are 3 goals down. Tell you what, considering the finishes of Jaren being superb, his pass to find Angelatos equal to it, you could argue.
Well, it's beautiful link up by the two youngsters as well. With Saka as well, finding a back post and Jerry being in that position. Western squad looking very good for a bunch of youngsters, and that's where it comes with experience as well, with Fernando leading them and Sully's coaching as well. It's been a big season for them, and they're showing it tonight.
Of course, when you look at the top of the summit being Fitzroy, they make their return tonight against Western City in our final clash of round 18, and Noel Soma will take some solace, or some perhaps relief, if you will, of seeing how the Knights have fared in recent weeks. Of course, they had to get 3 points last week against Pasco Vale. They were agonisingly close. You could argue the better side on the night. They just couldn't seem to put their chances away, and might have had the Moz against them, considering they hit the post 4 times, including upon the decisive penalty issue to win the game. The top right crossbar rattled for some time, and Tom Ellis had hit it.
Yeah, well, at the end of the night, it comes to who wants them more in a game, and as much as it's a up and down game, and there's a team that's dominating, it's whoever at the end of the night wants it. Yeah, that's how it is.
Could make that point, Isha, but it must be said they certainly did want it last week. Western City, considering there's a few games they got coming up that it's going to be hard for them to get points against. Of course, they have a bye in their final run into the end of the season, and they have to face both Fitzroy and the Blues, who have the bye this evening. So it's a very, very difficult task. Not that it was already nearly impossible, but well, the writing is pretty much on the wall. But imagine they were to find a win against Fitzroy this evening. It would be something that would simply be added to the folklore of the competition. A quick acknowledgement for Fitzroy. They've got a couple of players representing the Futsal Roos at the moment in Thailand, where Australia are leading Vietnam by 1-0. You won't believe, Isho, who was involved in both the goal and the build-up play. None other than our Fitzroy boys of Scott Rogan and Corey Swool. He was the finisher. Rogan was the man in behind to find his Fitzroy teammate. And in the semi-finals, the Futsal Roos have a 1-goal lead. We'll provide updates, of course, of that contest throughout the night. And another sort of acknowledgement, if you will, on a global stage, Ish, of how perhaps full of quality our competition really is.
Yeah, well, it just shows you that, like the quality we have in the serious futsal, Victoria. There's a lot of players that could be involved, but just need a bit more experience and a bit more. Shouldn't say coaching too much, but like more of a experienced coaching, like Jimmy getting involved. So we'll have to wait and see how the Futsal Roos go after this game.
There's Parthamos, Skopolides, United in full flurry Another save by Bosnijaki in goal. He's been under the pump tonight, really. There's no lying about that. He hasn't played poorly, to his credit, but he's had a lot to deal with. Nikos Nadiadis, looking like a kid at Christmas who's received socks in his Christmas stocking, not very happy. Wonder what's going to get him up and about. It'll have to be a response. All in the second half from the Knights. Can they find something very late in the first? Bezapol will be there to try. Aljaran will clear as the half-time whistle will sound. United, courtesy of Sako Aljaran and Jerry Angelatos, have a 3-goal lead. Quite the comprehensive start to the contest. The Knights have it all to do in the second half. Before we close out to a half-time break here, Show, how can you see the Knights getting back into the game?
Honestly, right now it's a 3-0 lead for Western. They've been on top of Altona Knights, just beating them. There's not much that Altona have. They've got their shots off, but unfortunately for them, Connor's just been on point. So, is there a way? Is there a way? Of course, there's a way, but unfortunately, I just can't tell you that right now.
We'll have to see it for ourselves in person after this short half-time break.
I grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. they have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level. So you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group.
We cross back to our coverage of this opening clash between the Knights and Western United, and it's all to do in this definitive second half of futsal. Nico Gnadiadis not looking very promising at the moment. Yanni Pira looking to get busy as Latini watches on from the bench. How can the Knights respond in the second half? And well, Yanni Pira was aching to go already from the get-go. Finds himself trying to have some impact on the corner. He earned it considering the shot he had registered towards Murray. As Natoli. Show the pass, receives it back. Natoli! And that's well done from the Knights. That's a response they need. A brilliant ball over the top from Rasticic, who's all fired up. And there might just be a ball game on our hands as Isho returns to commentary. And it must be said, Isho, it's quite the goal crafted from the Knights. They went over the top and Natoli off his head. Claws one back.
Well, yeah, 2 goals. Well, going down 3 goals and getting the goal back is a good start for Altona. Should be, oh, beautiful by Connor coming out quickly off his line. Like I was saying, sorry, Altona are a team who are very underrated when it comes to getting the goals back. But let's see if they can get those 2 goals back to make a comeback, or maybe 3 to get the win.
It's been quite the quick start, considering it only took them under a minute to open the scoring. They have 2 goals to chase now, and let's see how they fare in doing so. As well, Jaron, happy to see out Natoli. Well, Jaron really into too much. The Knights will come away with it. Must be said though, Isho, perhaps Nico Gnadiadis and company are rather fortunate that Western City haven't really done much this season, because the form the Knights have found themselves in for some time, in all honesty, has been rather bleak. Of course, they've had a couple of wins in recent memory, but it hasn't exactly fared too well for them. They just don't seem to have that spark which they found last season. As the weeks go on, it becomes more of the case.
I think with Western City, sorry, you were talking about, yeah. With Western City, obviously it's been a big change for them, losing a lot of their main players, and beautiful, sorry, that was a beautiful save by Connor. But yeah, speaking about Western City, they've had a massive change through their club, obviously with their coaching as well, losing Dharma, getting Danny back, coming back as a coach, getting Noel as well. Should have been, wouldn't say. I think they're just going through a new takeover, which sometimes goes good, sometimes goes bad, but yeah, it's been up and down for them. So let's see how they do in the last remaining games to get out of that relegation zone.
Perhaps Isho with his best impersonation of Italian great. The names evaded me right as I've wanted to name drop the AC Milan legend of Gennaro Gattuso. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe, well, you know the rest. But when looking at the ladder and the point differentiation, it's a real telling story. The Knights haven't had a victory since they defeated Western City. Very close contest, it must be said. City made some pretty pivotal signings throughout that mid-year, or mid-season rather, transfer window. Of course, it's only 2 games out there chasing. The Knights have to find a win, or not win any game rather. The Knights win, the relegation saga pretty much concludes with Western City succumbing to it. But all considered, it's only 2 wins that Western City need. It's just looking at their opponents issue. It's just going to be that task, perhaps too much. Look at who they've got to come up against. It's, well, the Tigers this evening. It'll be Moreland next week. Western United in round 19. They then have the spell. They'll conclude their season against Altona.
I think it's a huge task for Western City to get through to the top teams on the ladder. But it's futsal, anything can happen, of course, but you know, just got to keep their head up and keep going. They can't be phased by looking at the fixtures and just keep going and play their game.
Just makes you think back to last week, the sliding doors moment perhaps for Western City and Pasco Vale in that contest. Remember on this one, Dimaraeus is aching for a goal and he's desperate to try find one. He's had a couple of efforts so far. Meanwhile, just having a quick glance of what's occurring in Thailand with our futsal roos. Corey Swan and Rogan yet again we're combining. It's some nice link-up play, and they're asking questions of Vietnam. What are the Aussies? Zangalatos. Evangelista on the flank. But perhaps, Isho, having a look at the Altona Knights fixtures that are upcoming, of course this game's not over by any means, but United have it on their terms. They have to face both Pasco Vale. They'll take on, when they return, the Knights that is, they'll have to take on Pasco Vale, then it's Fitzroy. They have a bye in round 19. And they'll see out the season against Western City. Having looked at the fixtures that lie ahead, Western City simply have to hope that Altona lose all their remaining games. And that, well, it's very difficult to beat the likes of the Blues and the Tigers. They'll have to try and beat their Western counterparts of United in that round 19 clash, all to set us up for a grandstand finish at the end of the season. It all, of course, will depend on goal difference, and well, City have it in their favour. So there's a glimmer of hope maybe with the Soma and company. Of course, if the Knights do find a victory for any of those dates, that will conclude that entire race. As just before half-time in Vietnam, the Aussies with Scott Rogan have hit their second. How about that? Series futsal, stand up on the big stage. You're being represented as our very own Scott Rogan fires it in for the Futsal Roos, and they lead 2-0 against Vietnam. Interesting, the picture that might paint.
I think Altona are getting very close to getting a goal back right now, but Western are doing very well to defend, especially with the experience of Connor speaking to all the players as well and all the boys.
Bezapur! Oh. Well, he gave it something. Murray, his hand will be ringing after that. Sparab will try again. It's Locke. Latini can't keep it on the deck. Well, the Knights started strongly. Since then, they've rather fizzled out, it must be said. As Locke in his defensive half will search long and aimlessly, in all reality, goes right out of play. Bit of a scramble. The goalkeeper is panicking momentarily. Locke has it fired right into him. And it goes around Angelatos. Great evasive work from Altona, and there's a genuine scoring opportunity there that was right at their disposal. Perhaps their brightest outlet so far, asking some questions. Just couldn't get the shot away right at the death. As they're making half a while Jaren to escape. Here goes Saka down court and out of real estate in the end. Bosna Jack really stepping up. Bezapor keeps it there for the Knights. Jerry Angelatos happy to see it out of play. Cross-court pass from Locke. Bezapor asking a lot of his teammate to try latch onto it. We just say at the moment that Solomon has the game on his terms, Isho.
It's looking very comfortable so far for Western. With the game plan as well, halftime was probably to defend and hold their lead and not get more goals. But obviously Altona put a bit of a spoil on that by scoring the first goal. But Western don't look like they're phased by it and getting into the positions to get the goals.
Measured pass from Bezapor. Locke was there. Evangelista has a lot to do and he does well. Angelatos to Scopelides, bit of a heavy touch. Don't mind the game of Angus Angelatos, the flanker, was becoming more incisive on that occasion. Don't see that much. Don't see him do that too often, it must be said. As a corner for United, it's Jaren who flicks it on for Evangelista. Scrambling was Scopelides. Scopelides from the corner, flick on from Evangelista, goes afraid, and now a chance for the Knights, while Jaren slides. Defensive output from an offensive player. Some versatility growing with Saka. Latini asking questions of the movement. Natoli. Rasticic has to go back for Bezapor. The idea was bright. Natoli concedes that he wasn't going to get there in time. Dare I say, Isho, it looks as if United are looking comfortable. They are rather defensive at the moment, but they're really locking up shop. Trying to hit on the counter. Scopelides going for a dance with Rasticic. Two dance partners having a tango.
This is a big result for Western United for their top three hopes. Obviously hoping that for them that Pasco Vale loses tonight for Western United to get into that top three, but it's a big result for them as well. Altona are a very strong side when it comes to giving it to the big teams. Sorry, I shouldn't say big teams, but you know, the top three teams or top four teams. But Altona need to do a bit more just to get those goals up and coming.
Haven't really got much momentum in that part of the court as Scopelides. Well, it was accurate, but it could have been not the night for Ben, who's residing in that area. It's now Parthamos, great weight on the pass. Great save by the keeper. Parthamos flirts with the idea of shooting. That's well done, extremely well done by Bosna Jackie in goal. Really proving his money worth on that occasion. He's called upon a fair amount. And Tolly at the other end, just yet again not really having much time to have a genuine crack. Scopelides playing pivot. Evangelista playing the near post, not very well. United happy to just infiltrate on the counter. They're allowing for Altona to basically do that, just cough up play and kick and hope along. Parthamos wants to stroll through the middle, it's the cannon! Bosna Jack with a big save, now Bezapor's turn. He scoops, the ball's still there somehow. He slides with Scopelides. Provided one of his own for a brief moment. The court became a slip and slide.
Baltimore's very involved in all the attacking plays as well. Just shows to what a young, experienced player he is, going up there and getting back as well straight away. Well, the ball has stayed in there.
Looked like it might have for a sec, but a lot of froth on the court. Could say it's almost oiled up to an extent. Gets very dewy when it gets warm. As the Toli looks to try to play a pass. Parthamos he loves just flirting with the idea of playing the ball. It's one of his trademarks. Angelatos has a bounce. Scopelides is there, and it will find its way in. It's a brilliant move from Western United. It's very unfortunate from Bosnijaki in goal. The black and green embrace. Nico Nadiadis, the game to chase yet again. 3 goals A trail by. Panic stations perhaps the Knights have entered, as we'll enter a short timeout break.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. Each detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Scopelides enjoying that goal. It was rather unfortunate for Bosnijak. The Knights yet again, of course, stoppage time will come into play soon. They started the second half so positively, but just couldn't build from it. Smoshi can't trap it. Alicia, you're very happy to see your side hit the front by a further margin following that goal.
Yeah, of course, it's a good sight seeing your team perform. But I got to stay on balance just because of the commentary. But obviously ecstatic, and I'm just happy. I'm proud of the boys so far.
We're highlighting the age in that little interim we had there of all the playing group at United, and well, it will take some time. There's no argument regarding that, but the building blocks have certainly been put in place, considering the ages of Angelatos, Parthamos, while Aren, Scopelides and company. Of course, Dimitrios is more that player-coach kind of role, with Suleiman always there providing his wisdom. But when the average age is basically 20, well, with the one major outlier of, well, the Don being Fernando Dimitrios, there's a lot to like about United going forward. It's been said for some time. They are brewing in the background. Well, in the early stages of this season, you thought they might ruffle some feathers, considering they had defeated Moreland, which ultimately put them on the back foot of their title charge. Of course, United against Fitzroy a few weeks ago were rather competitive. It was 2-1 at half-time until the Tigers found the means necessary to run away with it, in all honesty. Question mark always lurks around serious futsal. Who's going to challenge the 10-time champions, soon to be 11? United, well, just perhaps in the background, ominously rather, making their case. Isho, the words can't really come out at the moment, considering how quick this game's going. Well, Aren! Everything but the finish. He tangoed on thin ice, pretty much. And Bosnijak presumed which way the attacker was going to go, and the keeper won that battle. Can't be too hard done by the Altona keeper. He's been under so much pressure this evening.
I think 4 goals is very harsh for Altona, especially the game he's having. He's making saves left, right and centre. I think honestly, if they weren't losing 4-1, he'd be in contention for man of the match.
No denying that. It's a bit of a slide from Skopolidis on Peter at the back post. They were arriving. Rasticic involved with Jerry Angelatos, who thought he might have had a foul. Further up the court. He's in possession now. Back to Di Moraes. Bruzio Novak and company just entering the building. Natoli sends Murray for a stretch with his legs. 4:50 left. Stoppages will be a lot more fluent now. Ball remains somehow alive. Chip ball not going to go anywhere. Now Jaron away from his marker. Bosnijak yet again, his angles were covered. I've said that name many times this evening. Isha, you're confused as to how Jaron hadn't found the net.
He's having... honestly, this is one of the best games I've seen a keeper perform but still be losing in a long time. Like, he's making a lot of saves that have been very pivotal for Altona to keep them... Well, I shouldn't say keep them in the game, but kind of keep them... Well, less goals copped, but...
Still within reason, you could say. And, well, as time ticks on, they haven't had any answers the Knights. They haven't really looked promising in attack, as each time they've had half a sniff, it's been met by the keeper of United, who's having a decent game, it must be said. Tolley has the angle shut out. Looking for answers still are the Knights. There's Locke. Playing Natoli. Di Moraes will get his foot in the way. Jerry Angelatos is a long way from home. Somehow still has the ball. They go for a topple. Bezapor sends the ball pretty much out for a side possession, dare I argue. Of course, Lars Parthamos hasn't had much in terms of his goal scoring contributions, but he's really moulding into a kind of, well, more of an instructor, conductor type role where he's dictating the play.
Yeah, with Parthamos, he's a player that doesn't really need to doesn't need to score goals to get involved. Yeah, he dictates the play. He plays from the back, dribbles, gets forward, assists. Honestly, as a player, you have to adjust in any position, and he's adjusted very well. He's gone from his younger age to scoring a lot of goals to becoming a very calm and composed player and just guiding everyone from the back. A leader, you would say.
Not to cut you off there, Risho, but Bezapor in that play was firmly involved. The freight train went around a few. His angle got rather tight. And any more of that, the Knights. It's time becoming a factor. Parthamos bumped off the ball intelligently by the Knights. Reverse pass for Jerry Angelatos. Love the discipline from United. They're always in the right position at the right time. Sakurada gets some match minutes while Jaron ball roll right around Natoli. It's like he wasn't there. United will set up yet again for a corner. Of course, you mentioned the leadership qualities of Elias Parthamos. He's well and truly further up the court. It rolls back for Evangelista. While Jaron, a two-man press, weaving towards him. As well, Jaron. Oh, Murray's come a long way. He's come a very long way, and it might still work. Latini, goals exposed. The Knights with a real genuine chance. The keeper backtracking. Parthamos blocking. Evangelista going for a run himself. Bezapor read it well. Parthamos is there. And Bosnijak comes away with the ball.
It's a very unlucky, well, I shouldn't say unlucky. The keeper making another save, but that should have been in. That should have been in. But like we've been saying the whole night, how has that not gone in by this keeper's performance?
Oh, Bosnijak at the other end, having seen his side not score, was incensed. He's asking his team, where's the goal? I'm saving all of them at my end. Do your bit. It's what he said. I'm only quoting the goalkeeper, who's arguably kept the Knights well and truly competitive in this game. And you look at how Murray had come a fair journey. All considered, it's a real opportunity for the Knights to just claw one back to make it a little bit more interesting.
I think Murray has been very impressive tonight. For his first game for Western United in seniors, sorry, have to give a shout out to Felipe Evangelista for that rainbow flick there. But yeah, Murray's been very good. Sorry, I shouldn't.
Well, Jaron,
sorry, I'm lost for words twice in a row.
He's apologetic, which he shouldn't be, considering there's a couple of rainbow flick efforts being well tried by the United players. I think Josh Fusco would have absolutely had a field day with that one. Jaron was to find a goal from that bit of skill, but well, has a free kick opportunity. Usually it would be Parthamos territory. He's let it roll for well, Jaron, who he feels if will beat the brakes off the ball. How does Jaron play this set piece opportunity? He played it across the face. Jack was happy to see it just go afraid. That might be the final time we see Jaron this evening for United. Bezaport trying to go around Angelatos. Murray yet again, he loves to just cover his angles, doesn't he? It's a real unique approach to his keeping.
That just shows the level of experience as a youngster he has and the training he's had to cover those angles. Very impressive by him, very impressive.
Well, when Aren Yu is amongst your goalkeeping ranks, the amount of wisdom you can take from such an esteemed keeper can only do good for Murray and United. Well, the Jack at the other end, well, he just watches on aimlessly as he wants his side to perhaps try to steal it. Bezapor trying to turn, men committed forward for the Knights. Sakurada can't escape, Bezapor is there, tries the upper duper. Sakurada was not sure about the projection of the ball. Yanni Pira should have been selfish. He had heaps of time to get his shot away. He still has half a chance. And the Magician just perhaps had too much time and was caught in too many minds. And ultimately doesn't cause any damage. And that really just sums up the night for the Knights. As he cuts off that lofted pass, Latini across the face of court. Near our final minute, just under 90 seconds left. United strolling into what should be a pretty comfortable win. They crashed out the gate pretty early on, and well, the game had got away from the Knights, and ultimately Western have kept them at an arm's length. And just considering their recent form and what's occurring at the moment for Nico Dadiatis and company, can just give a glimmer of hope, as we mentioned, to Noel Soma and Western City. Still heaps of competition left, but Altona haven't closed the door on that automatic 7th relegation position. Quite the contrast to the season they had at the start of this year. There's Latini, our final minute. There's too many chefs in the kitchen. Bezapor will be there on the edge of the D. And Barab Bezapor, well, that really sums up Altona. And now Skopolidis can finish the job, and probably should have. Well, he knows the goalkeeper he's up against, and Bosnijak, I was happy to see it go over his bar. We know when the freight train is not executing the upper duper issue, it's quite the long night for the Knights.
It's a very frustrating night for Altona. Unfortunately, they can't really get involved, or shouldn't say get involved. They've been involved very. I think there might be a goal there for Altona.
And there will be a goal for them. Rasticic has combined with Bezapor. They claw one back, but well, if this was with 7 minutes left on the clock, or dare I say 2 minutes left on the clock, there might be half a sniff, but ultimately it's well and truly too late. Not sure if the ladder is live at the moment, but well, United with this victory will still remain on the tail of Pasco Vale to finish inside the top 3. Maud, of course, in second, Fitzroy in first. Oh, and Hume FC, of course, just involved in that playoff position battle. It's really between three clubs at the moment as Elias Parthamos says game, set, match. That'll be our third goal to win the match by. It'll be our fifth scored on the night. The cannon sets fuse to the ignition, and United coast home to a comfortable win.
Goes to show, and there it is, Elias Parthamos finally scoring the goal he needed the most. Like I said, he doesn't need to score a goal to be one of the best players on the court, but he got his goal, and yeah, the could win 5-2.
Certainly was, as it rounds out our first contest of round 18. The Knights have it all to do with the remaining fixtures ahead. The relegation position, well, they're 2 games clear, but anything can still happen. The door somewhat remains slightly ajar. Full time, it's Western United 5, Altona Knights 2. Our post-match player press conference coming up very shortly. Stay with us.
Grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Red I'll be in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
There, lads. We're joined by Darcy Scoppolidis and Saka Valjaran. Gents, how'd you find that match against the Altona Knights?
Yeah, it felt good. Good to be back to winning ways. Came from a bad loss last week. But yeah, good to get another bounce back win.
Yeah, good bounce back.
In terms of your own performances this evening, you scored a goal that was rather, well, difficult the way it went in. The keeper, of course, of Mozajak, put up a fair fighting goal for Altona this evening. To be on the scoreboard, how's that got to feel?
Nah, feels good. Credit to the keeper today, Bosniak. Played unreal. But yeah, it was a bit of a weak goal, but still winning and goal's a goal. But yeah, it feels good to be back on the scoring sheet.
Your early involvement, Saka, got 2 goals and an assist. How'd you find your game tonight?
I feel like I played well. I didn't play last week. Haven't been on the score sheet for a while now. It's good to get my goals back in.
As we draw to a close on the calendar year end this season, the ambitions for United, I'm sure, will be to finish third. A few games, of course, in the lead up to the final stages of the season still to be played. What's the feeling like between the playing group?
Good vibes, to be honest. Training, coming to game day. We're all mates, yeah, so we play it for fun as well. But we have that competitive mindset. But we all love each other. We all get along well. Our main focus is just we want to grow as a team. We're all young. We know that we're young. We all believe in each other, so we just want to, the next seasons to come, obviously want to finish third this season, be as best as we can. But yeah, we're a young playing group and we just want to develop as much as we can and get to the top.
So what was it?
I might close this out, but United, well done boys this evening. Got the job done. That'll close us out for the post-match player interview.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what? Now what a bow. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to to work hard, and maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Well, things between these two sides got a bit tasty last time out. But all considered, we get on with the show in good spirits. My name's Adam Palombi. I'm back on commentary. No Isho Haskell for our second fixture of round 18, where Pasco Vale lock horns with Hume FC. No tanker side fresh off the back of a 7-0 victory at the expense of the Knights the round prior. And are enjoying this little purple patch are entering. So try have their quest to escape the playoff positions. No tanker was full of positivity heading into this one. Claiming that Littleton over that side are quite the outlet and acknowledged that they play some quote-unquote decent futsal. Same blood that had simmered, of course, in their last outing. Looks to have cooled. Everybody exchanging in pleasantries just before this one begins. At the forefront of such was Alison Lima, who's in the lineup for Pasco Vale this evening. No real noticeable absentees. Quite the opposite for last season's championship winners. With the return of Matthias Osumsau, haven't seen in some time. Lucas Vaz, Yauda Silva, Alison Lima, Sean Arn, Oscar Yee, Jarvis Jin, Yaquin Jimenez. All at the disposal of Aiden Chachi and Maurizio Novak. As for Mo Tankia, Hamza Chanda, Mok Benares, Kursat Gula, Karadag, all on the bench. Starting players on court, but a returning Colosimo. We haven't seen in some time. He's back in action. Ivanic was involved in youth competition last evening for Hume. He's on court alongside Mo Temel and Nejet Sahin. Enos Bertrus remains the man in between the sticks. No Kaladatic. Might not be needed considering. Bertrus found himself in the team of the week for round 17. As deemed by our officials. We're underway. Michael Ciaris and Benjamin Cullen at the helm for this one, with Anas Mohammed as the on-court official on the touchline. How can we leave out, of course, Jorge Arturo Diaz, the raging bull, the recipient of the team of the week for round 17. The captain, of course, starting things off. As Lima finds the raging bull. Diaz measured for Jimenez. Tries to stab it back, and now Arn thought about it. Pasco Vale love keeping possession. They don't look to force the envelope without having full certainty of finding a teammate in their attacking half. They're very happy to remain a possession-based kind of team. So the Raging Bull gets things moving on. Got the feelings already that this one might be quite the chess match between these two. Pasco Vale last week, it must be said, were put nearly under the sword by Western City. They had to rely on penalties ultimately. Again, they were leading rather comfortably against the run of play. The goals they had found on the break, and considering City had infiltrated Jarvis Jin a fair amount on that contest, they were rather lucky to come away with the points. Saying round 18, it's in fact round 17. Have to have a quick refresher of the Weefroth and have to rectify perhaps what we've been saying so far. Welcome to round 17. It's round 16 where Pasco Vale were rather, despite the win, put under some test. And prior, of course, to close out the show. Rather testing, perhaps, the result was. For Hume, they'd come away with a loss at the hands of Noel Solmer's Western City. Considering the form of the Knights, as we sort of brag on about at the moment, still perhaps that bit of uncertainty surrounding the automatic relegation position as Colosimo had to flirt with fire. Was caught napping in possession and ultimately turns it over. The Raging Bull flew it low, and Isho's back, and Isho must be set off the bat. Mate, we're in round 17, not 18. What do you tell me before we start the stream?
Wait, actually, on the Weefroth it says round 18, does it not?
I think it says round 17 upon second glance. Might need some Windex to just clear
Maybe
out
I need to clean my glasses, honestly. I think they're fogging up, but...
Well, I'm partly to blame as well. I had it triple checked, it must be said. But well, this contest, Mr. Haskell. Two sides, Hume, well, they can always surprise a few. There's no doubting that. Last week, clean sheet and a heavy win, always something rather impressive to see be done, especially on a futsal court. How do they match up against Pasco Vale tonight?
It's really hard to say.
Won't be hard at all. Subity Chichek. UC7 opens a scoring for Mo Tanker's company. Well, just as we're going to try pick your brain, Isho, on these two playing sides, UC7 says rethink your thoughts and opens a scoring. Nothing Jarvis Jin could do to keep that out. They barely had half a glimpse on goal. And while the Black Army, with one of their more esteemed players, of Subity Chichek, break the deadlock. It's all up for Pasco Vale to formulate a response.
Ubedi Chichek scoring with his right foot as well, instead of his trademark left. What a beautiful finish in the bottom corner.
How does that change perhaps the previous question we asked you, Bishop? How do these two sides come against each other this evening? All considered that, well, their forms are rather varying. Of course, different opponents, but still two opponents that are at the bottom end of the table.
I think both teams have the ability to obviously score goals, defend. Well, both of them are very good teams, but it comes to I keep saying this during the first game, but who wants it more? In a way, but we'll see. Right now, Hume are on top. See how Pasco replies back.
It's becoming a massive theme, perhaps of round 17. Is who wants it more?
It's a
good
quote.
You're not exactly wrong though, Isho, it must be said, because it gets rather even, especially considering the positions of all these sides as the season ticks on. Playoffs being a potential threat. Pasco Vale, they know they can't really go for the title. That's mathematically impossible now. So they'll look to settle perhaps for a top half finish. Of course, top three would be that coveted prize. And all considered, while Hume had experienced playoffs in season one, they nearly were defeated, dare I say, by, was it your former Northern Phoenix?
No, so it was against Northcote. Yeah,
it
was Western United versus Northern Phoenix.
That would sound more about like it.
It's a good game. One of the best games I've seen actually for Western United versus Northern Phoenix. And even Hume versus Northcote was a very, very tough and competitive game. It goes to show that there's quality all around the leagues in the series futsal arena.
That's exactly what we like to hear, especially it being symbolised by it not really mattering where the sides currently sit on the table. It's all about who might want it more. As Mo Temmel has a dead ball to infiltrate Jarvis Jin's goal. And it's exactly what he does, the captain, who in recent weeks has been relishing in career best form. And he hits Hume to their second.
And that's why Mohamed Tamil is captain of Hume FC. What a player he is, scoring that beautiful left-footed shot. Down the middle of the goal, but too powerful for Jarvis Jin to save that.
Considering the angle in which Tamil had walked up towards the ball upon, looked as if he might have perhaps just tricked Jarvis Jin into thinking he was going to lay the ball off. Well, rather, took the leather off it. And the response from Maurizio Novak has been to install the players of Lucas Vaz and Matthias Asumsau, and we love how Robocop goes about his business on a series futsal court. He's a true asset to what we have going on here in Thomastown. It's bright for the rest of Boots, makes his presence known to Ninos Burtress very early on with a shot that was not too far from the top corner. So Hume just dictating the game at the moment. Najat Saheen, known for Chichek on the flank. Great give and go between himself and Tamil. Must be said, Mo Tamil perhaps just having a bit more faith in the youngsters at Hume. Is allowed to relish further up the court. Now Chichek got to find a youngster of Hamza Chandab. So we might quickly cross this show to providing an update to what's happening in Thailand at the moment. The Futsal Roos, with only the one goal lead, Vietnam pulling one back, I believe from a free kick or set piece. And there's roughly 9 minutes left of play for position in the ASEAN Championship Grand Final. Of course, look to provide sporadic updates of that contest as it comes to its boiling point. Tebble looks to combine with Saheen. Initial heavy touch. Now Matthias Asumsau is, well, caught by Ubidi Cicek, and considering the man mountain in which Ubidi has moulded himself into in recent months, there's no way Matthias was going to be agile to get around him.
Yeah, well, it's going to take more to get past Ubidi Cicek. Even when it comes to getting that foul, he'll take it on the spot.
And Asumsau will look to try and infiltrate Ninos Bertrus here. Staggered run up, lets it roll. Yauda Silva, not really sure what Pasco Vale were trying to conjure up there. Temel searching past, Asumsau cuts it off. Cicek there to greet him. Oscar Yee involved, of course. The likes of Hamza Chandab and many others from both sides. Last night's respective youth competition matches they both had. Effort was denied by Bertrus. Canaris and Kursat Gula just trying to cut off the angle. Here's Asumsau. Quite the combination play he has with Vaz. Quite the understanding those two players have. Out of Silva, trying to make some movement. Hume really closing up shop. Asumsau lets the ball do the rolling. Yee. De Silva. Vaz trying to make some movement. Asumsau measured. Taking his time, probing for that opening. Oscar Yee now. Some patience surrounding Pasco Vale. Vaz trying to get that little bit more creative. Went central for Yee. And now Chandab's called upon Jarvis Jin to come off his line. And now Asumsau wants to go around the world. No tanker calling for calm. Impressive how quickly Hume found their shape there.
Yeah, it's an experienced way of saying it for Hume. They they lose the ball up front, but then straight away come back. It just shows how good they are. But also Pasco should be doing better there with more numbers up top.
Quick transition. Small Chandab nearly found himself in an acre of space to get away and perhaps find Hume's third. Quick scramble, which allowed for Pasco Vale to get back in numbers. Canaris and Asumsau off the ball. Matthias trying to find something out of nothing. Ninos Bertrus goes with the footy kick ultimately, and well, not to swap codes, but Jarvis Jin practically takes an intercept mark. As the Silva with Chandab. Asumsau wants involvement, he wants the ball at his feet. Kursat Gula was adamant that ball was out of play. Benjamin Cullen thinks otherwise. Asumsau, here's Oscar Yee. What sort of player can he mould into? Very vocal on a Thursday night. Still quite the young man, a lot of futsal remains ahead of him. But he has the smarts early on in his career, Risho, it must be said.
Oscar is a very good talent. He was playing for Western City the season before. Been pretty sure he started at Melbourne Uni, where he obviously caught the eye of a lot of teams, and yeah, he's been playing amazing. And for a youngster, he just looks very calm and composed on the court for the big man.
It's rather quick, it must be said. Big man that's quick is a dangerous combination. It's De Silva.
It's the likes of Erling Haaland for Oscar Yee.
Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. As Diaz has it cut off by Chandab. Quite the player Hamza's going to become in the future. Already is now, you could argue, as Canaris and the Raging Bull take a stumble off the ball. Chandab, now Hume's turn. Vaz cuts it off. Asumsau cross court, wants possession with his captain. Hume have installed an early lead and have looked to just maybe rather settled in defence. Asumsau and Chandab coming together. Asumsau knew it was a bit overzealous. Tried to play it off like it was not as imposing. It's been called back for a foul, and Pasco Vale slowly are accumulating some fouls. That also becoming a factor, as it was in our first contest. Claris, chip for Gula, who's stretching. Needs longer legs, you could argue, Isho. So far, considering how Hume have set up shop, how do Pasco Vale try and break them down?
I think it's very. Ooh, Arturo Diaz just missing by an inch. It's very hard. It's very hard to say for Pasco Vale because they're a very up and down team as well. But I think for their first season back in series futsal, they've been very consistent. So against an experience it's experience versus experience basically. So I think anything can go with Pasco.
Brilliant ball from a Sumcow. Said that many times before. Trying to find De Silva. It's Chantab to tick a few more boxes. In terms of appearances, Kursak Gula, it was flirting. It was flirting dangerously for Jarvis Jin. Vaz can't find a reverse option. Temel has Gula. Michael alone, Temel. Stings the palms of Jarvis Jin. Simsao under some pressure. Has to go firstly across his goal line. Long ball for the Robocop. Burtress got his angles right. That's what Pasco Vale like to do. Karadak has an acre of space. Has that hit a hand? Penalty. And a timeout called by Mo Tanker. If it's a penalty or not, we're not exactly certain. Isha, you might have had a better glimpse on where that ball might have struck the hand.
I think it might have been a free kick, just where Michael Sierras is standing. But it could, yeah, free kick. It's a free kick. It's placed the ball on where it was. But very good call by the official.
Well, Hume will look to set up and we'll have this free kick for Mo Tanker's side right after this short timeout break.
Future Australia is in the top.
So the Black Army, it's all going right for them so far. They have a free kick in a very promising position. Let's see how they look to set up from such as Karadag is firmly behind the ball. That's it roll for Temel. And that's very well done. It's Yubity Chichek. It's another set piece special from Hume FC. They lead the game by 3-0. Well, Mo Tanker, there's a massive smile on his face at the moment. The job's nowhere near done, but quite the start they're exhibiting at the moment, Isha.
I think Mo Tanker smile wins straight away off because he knows what Paco are capable of, but he also knows what his team are capable of as well. But yeah, he has a pretty straight face there.
Well, that smile might be going quickly because Karadag is on the deck. And Alison Lima puts the ball out of play. Tanker comes to have a look at his, well, one of his youngsters. He gives him the nod that you're all right, let's get on with it. Perhaps just take a little bit high. It was an elbow, that's what Hinos Burtress is saying to us. Of course, didn't look like it was done in any bad blood, it's just perhaps a sign of the times.
I think both teams need to be very careful and officials need to keep a close eye on it because from last time. It got very ugly, so needs to be very, very careful for both teams.
Last time it basically became the Royal Rumble here in Thomastown. It was not a pretty sight in the slightest, considering how both teams came up against each other in the pre-game and all seemed rather cordial. In a weird, twist of fate, when two sides are to have a bit of animosity, that somewhat brings them closer together the next time they are to face off against each other. It's a massive block from Najat Saheen. It's really allowed for Rotemel to infiltrate his opposing goals a lot more. Pasco Vale have the game to chase. Diaz for Lima. Incisive, the raging bull just couldn't find the finishing pass. That's more promising for Maurizio Novak. Corner. Steps inside. Burtress is there. Last line of the fence. Najat Saheen, who's strolling away. Jarvis Chin will be called upon here. Well, he was there. It was his own teammate that had the ball shot towards him inadvertently. Temel isolated. Goes around Lima. Shot blocked. Temel gesturing for calm, but it's been all so far the Black Army.
Yeah, they've been attacking very good, Hume. They're getting the goal. Well, they're going in front of the goal.
Wow.
Sorry, Ed, I'm just a bit distracted there, but no, that's what. Yeah, there's a bit going on. But yeah, nah, Hume have been doing very well when it comes to the goal scoring, defending as well. It's been very well, but Pasco need to find that one goal to get them started. So hopefully, for them, it can come.
Of course, a lot of experience on court tonight for Hume. Pasco Vale will look to flick that switch in terms of getting them up and about in the scoring ranks. Speaking of goals, unfortunately, for the Aussies, mind that, there was an equaliser for Vietnam, and straight off the back of such, the Aussies hit the front. It's 3-2 in the semi-final of the ASEAN Championships in Thailand. The Futsal Roos, were put on level terms, and dare I say, right from kickoff. It was literally right from kickoff they'd scored. That's unbelievable. The goal wasn't even captured in real time. It was a goal for Vietnam. The players were celebrating. They had activated the fifth man. Something in which is not foreign to any futsal team around the world. Fitzroy do it rather well, it must be said. But straight off the back, the goal was not caught on stream. The Aussies had literally put themselves right back in front.
What a shot.
And it was Wade Giovanali, that name, of course, rings synonymous with serious futsal, given Greg's involvement. But Pasco Vale, meanwhile, looking to remain involved here. And it's Sean Ahn who draws one back in the number 7. Asumsao involved in the build-up play. And I'll tell you what, goals occurring everywhere at the moment. Pasco Vale find a much-needed one.
Yeah, it was very good coming 2v1 for Pasco Vale. Good finish by Sean Ahn. Pasco Vale are hoping to get at least 2 more, and beautiful save by Jarvis Jin there. Pasco Vale needs to be very good when it comes to the defending as well and not get too carried away. Hume on the corner now.
Looked as if it might have hit the hand of Diaz. Comes off the chest. Has a Asumsao. Just a step inside. He has a reverse pass for Diaz, which is on further down the court. Ahn, the goal scorer. Shifts it for Lima. Deflecting ball. It's going to go in. And within a matter of moments, Pasco Vale find themselves in striking distance of an equaliser. Bit of confusion on that one, Isho.
Yeah, very fortunate for Pasco Vale there. Adelson Lima getting the shot off. Deflecting, I'm pretty sure, off Najat Saheen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, a goal's a goal at the end of the day, and Hume will be kicking themselves over by copying that one.
Of course, you are a teammate of Darcy Scopelides, and that's exactly what he said in the post-match player interview. A goal might be a goal, and, well, it doesn't matter how you score them, as long as you do. Exactly. Adelson Lima's thinking at the moment. Asumsao and Karadag colliding. Great ball! In behind from Diaz, and Ahn nearly with a great finish. That would have been goal around contender for certain, having found the net. It finds the post instead. The ball absolutely well executed. by the Raging Bull, Jorge Diaz. Oh, it was splitting of everyone on court. But meanwhile, at the other end, he puts the ball down in place for Karadag to take a corner for Hume as we are 2 minutes away from half-time. Cross over the top. Now, Matthias Assumpção has Lima on for the pass. And in a matter of moments, from one end to the other, a 3-goal lead turned around. Alison Lima at the brace. And Pasco Vale on level terms.
Coming from there, saying, Adam, that Pasco Vale need to find that 1 goal to get them started. They found 3 to get them level.
Gula right across the face of goal. Now Lucas Vaz, they're swarming forward. Yalda Silva, big block required by Saheen, provided by Saheen. Nice complexion to this one we're witnessing. Bit of a comeback executed by Maurizio Novak on the stroke of half-time. Now they've got their tails up, Pasco Vale. Vaz rolls it for Diaz, cross-court, Assumpção, they're making it click. Confronted by Temel, trying to turn away. The back heel for Vaz was there. Temel has seen that too many times and ushers the ball out of play. Ship pass down court, Karadag trying to go around the Raging Bull. Oh, Cullen, Benjamin's run right across. He's seen something there and it's been awarded to Hume. And it's 5 fouls issued for Pasco Vale. There's still time remaining in the dying embers of this first half. As Temel have scored from all their set pieces so far. Hume, and we're inches away from executing the same feat yet again with Karadag. Vaz wants the ball at his head. Jarvis Chin, not sure what head he was looking at there. He sent it right towards the path of Bertrus. Gula can't turn. They go for a bit of a spin. And although there was pleasantries exchanged before the start of the game, Assumpção and Gula, there's no love lost. These two sides playing, you could argue, to instant classic at the moment. Pasco Vale, we're trailing by 3 goals. They're on level terms as we cross to half-time. We're mentioning 3-3. You won't believe it at the moment. Vietnam have equalised, and it's 3 apiece in the semi-final of the ASEAN Futsal Championships in Thailand. Provide that and much more at the turn for home on the second fixture of round 17 as we cross to a short half-time break.
Good for improve your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
3 apiece. We return for the second half. Lucas Vaz wants to get the ball rolling. And rolling in that final 7 to 8 minutes. On the back end of that first half here show, Pasco Vale found their strides and got on level terms.
Yeah, it's well, I can't say a big shock when it came to the second goal. Hume was looking a bit depleted with the defending, but have to come back. They have to come back stronger in the second half.
Bit of a delay as Michael Ciaris has looked to the watch. Pasco Vale do survive the 5 fouls they had conceded. We're at a clean slate. Sumsau already pressing Pasco Vale. Sumsau around Chichek. Thought it might have touched Karadag. Or rather, Hamza Chandab on its way through, but it's gone out for the goalkeeper possession. Sauda Silva competing in there with all players. Karadag can't find Chichek. Now Vaz. Space for the Sumsau. He sits down the keeper, goes around him. Bit too pretty perhaps as Matthias on that occasion. Trying to get too fancy, you could argue. Took Burtress right out the equation. As Vaz has it roll for a Sumsau. A lot of involvement tonight for Matthias. Trying to make Saheen dance. He has it for Jorge Diaz. The back post was asking questions. That's where Jorge was trying to infiltrate. So we might have Saka Waljaran come join us on commentary for a little bit. As well, full time has been sounded in Thailand. 3 apiece. The score remains between Vietnam and the Futsal Roos. Extra time beckons. The Futsal Roos nearly had Vietnam on ice. Ultimately, the side that were playing their 5th man found an equaliser as Chandab does really well. Sumsau sees it out of play. Try and get the thoughts of Jaron on these two sides. He joins us very shortly for our commentary trio of the evening. Great ball for Vaz. And Pasco Vale hit the front. The Sumsau's been heavily involved. Lucas Vaz on the scoreboard yet again. This time to put his side in front. And Pasco Vale, who are trailing by 3 goals, find themselves a goal to the good. Right as Saka Waljaran has joined us on commentary. We might look to grab his thoughts in a moment. Sumsau trying to go around Saheen. Quite the game we're witnessing here so far. You can now see a Sumsau just call for calm. We're not sure if Waljaran will be coming in. There's some technical difficulties with his headset. Might have issue in for the meantime. As Vaz towards a Sumsau. Heavily involved, could argue he's had the match under his spell as Karadag sits down Jarvis Jin, and it's 4 apiece from absolutely nothing. The provider for Pasco Vale ultimately gives possession to Hume, and use of Karadag reinstores some equity between these two sides. Saka Waljaran, quite the game we're witnessing at the moment. Might look to grab your thoughts right now when we have a brief chance to. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, all good. How are you?
Not too bad. It's good to have you here. We just want to see what you're feeling about both these sides. Coming up against them, of course, and having some matches of your own against both Pasco Vale and Hume. Quite the game we're witnessing between these two sides tonight.
Yeah, 100%. They're 2 entertaining teams to watch. Them versing each other, especially after the last time they versed each other. It's a good game. I reckon that's the reason why it's the second game of the night for this round.
All considered, the performances of Matthias Sumsau and Yubity Chichek so far. Mo Temel, an honourable mention of such on court at the moment. Who are players for both sides that could win the game? Aside from the players I've mentioned, who else could win the game for both sides?
For Hume, I reckon the youngster Hamza Chandab could make a big difference. And then for Paco, I reckon a very underrated player, is Oscar Yee. Very technical player.
Talking about Oski before with Isho, would you say it's comparisons to maybe Erling Haaland? That's what Isho certainly reckons.
I don't know about Erling, but he's a good player.
Of course, just like yourself, a lot of futsal ahead of both Sakawal Jaron and Oski Yee. So they're still in the very early stages of their careers, but the ceiling is rather high for them both. As Saheen has a dead ball, hits the wall instead. Which way you see this one going, Saka? Because really, at the moment, it's too hard to tell, considering Hume had quite the firm lead. They had to equalise. Pasco Vale found themselves in front.
I want to say pens, honestly. I would like for Pasco Vale to win. Makes it easier for us, for Western, with the relegation battle, but I would like to see pens.
No Temel trying to roll back the years. Arsene Lima saying to Benjamin Cohen that is a dive. And he even gestures with his hand that he's going down. Considering the crowd here in Thomastown are getting rather vocal and animated. Well, Isho bringing out his inner Italian with the hand gestures. A lot to play for both these sides. Of course, a result, whichever way it leans, can impact Western United. Hume, well, look to perhaps equal their point tally. That, of course, on 18 points. Pasco Vale trying to run away in third. It's a bit to play for in terms of how it affects all sides in and around those playoff positions. As Diaz tries to go through Saheen. Ball rolls under Temel. Isho having a glance, of course, of what's occurring for the Futsal Roos. We'll provide updates as they come in. Asumsao wants to work it towards Diaz. Chip ball for Lima. Just quickly Saka while we have this brief stoppage. And coming up against Jorge Arturo Diaz.
Yeah.
In terms of how hard it is in comparison to other players in the competition, how would you rank the captain of Pasco Vale?
Arturo, I reckon his Pasco Vale's one of Pasco Vale's key players. I know he just joined this season from, was it Fitzroy? Been watching their games. I can see that Arturo is the one that brings the energy to the team.
It's called upon there as Chichik gets around him, bit of the body. Lima had to dive in. Certainly does bring energy and a lot of defensive output. Jorge Diaz, a serious futsal winner with Fitzroy in season 1 of 2024. Of course, a club, Saka, you've actually represented in the youth competitions. Got a pedigree with the Tigers. Let's take to court shortly as Asumsao, that ball was deflecting. Oscar Yee, your man, Saka, enters the court. Who gets the next goal, you reckon? It's hard to tell now. You could say Pasco Vale, considering the ball's in their attacking half.
Arturo shot back post, Oscar Yee tap in.
That's the call from our man Sakawal Jaron on commentary. His debut, mind you. Oscar Yee and Hamza Chandab coming together. Might look to grab the thoughts of Isho Haskell shortly, in terms of which way he sees this one going. Chandab rolls it back for Chichek. It was Diaz. There's Burgess in possession. Got Isho back on their headset. Isho, which way is this way? Which way is this contest rather going to lean towards, considering at the moment it is in full throttle?
Yeah, it looks like Hume's going. Hume's looking very dangerous at the moment. It's been up and down for Pasco. Ever since they scored that fourth goal, Hume's been looking more dangerous and dangerous. So I think they might be getting that fifth goal soon.
Certainly grown as the game's just aged. Lucio Novak formulating a master plan. Nice bit of noise, of course, in the arena, made by those watching on here. Needles threaded by Arndt to try to find Yee. Now Temel. Colosimo lurking on the flank. Chandab in possession, has Chichek further down the court. Teasing ball for UC7. Well, he was UC11 last night in the youth competition. dare I say, gents, it's one that's crying out for a commentator. Might have to have a chat with Josh Fusco, having witnessed the futsal firsthand, live in the flesh. There's a lot to offer, a lot of quality, showcasing those players also. As Oscar Yeet sidesteps, looks for Diaz, exchanges with Lima. Aren tried to go around Colosimo, keeps his feet. Temel can't go around the challenge. It was a tactical foul, you could argue. And the foul's being drawn back for the Black Army. Temel and Yeet. Side pass for Chitschek. Again, it's Hume trying to thread that needle through and find a teammate on the end of that searching pass. They're trying to execute it, the issue, but they just haven't seemed to play that ball in behind.
Yeah, well, like I said, Pasco is a very experienced team, but right now they're looking very disoriented. So, at the moment, trying to see what's happening at the moment. If it was Pasco ball or a Hume ball, I think Michael Sierras has given it to a Hume.
Chandab has really stabbed at it. Now Aren wants to go on a journey. Lima is wide for him. Lima and Colosimo. No strangers, of course, to each other. Throughout the years, they come together yet again. Lima's side possession. 12 minutes of play left. Cheers for a handball that go rather silent. Aiden Chachi with some confusion. He thought that might have hit the hands. Aren's back heel. Lima. Great offensive pressure by UC7. Well, ball's got out of play, but Pasco Vale made to work for it there.
Bit of aggression from both teams, as we see.
UC7 getting to work. Colosimo goes through the legs of Lima. Colosimo for Chantab. Oh, Colosimo nearly caught Lima in a clothesline. Lima still gesturing to his head. Desperate to perhaps have the ball for the Black Army.
Very
man returning.
Very surprising that it's only been 2 fouls in this half at the moment. It's been very, very aggressive from both teams.
Very physical it was in their last fixture. Both these sides came up against each other. And it's, well, remained much of that sort of theme here tonight. So the show just, well, has a bit to do at the moment. Just trying to gather his thoughts as to how this one's going to really play out as a Sumsao.
I think right now it's looking like penalties, as Saka said, but honestly anything can happen. 10 minutes left. We could see a fifth man come out.
Diaz still raging forward. Temel had to intervene. Dobson's let fly from pretty much the paint of the halfway line. It's a shot just, well, bends wide. Going across the face of the keeper. Although both sides are looking to go long over the top, they both seem to make it rather hard in, well, attaining possession. Pasco Vale trying to really break down Hume. Brilliant ball from a Sumcow! And it will go in at close range. It's Alison Lima who hits his hat-trick. Yaquin Jimenez involved also. Bertrus initially made the save. Matthias has been marvellous so far, creating pretty much every chance for Pasco Vale. Alison Lima hits his hat-trick, and Pasco Vale hit the front yet again.
Pasco Vale needed that one to get them front, obviously, but a bit, like I said, a bit unfortunate for Hume. Another ricochet goal, and Alison Lima will be ecstatic with that one.
They're a nightmare for goalkeepers to concede. There's no two ways about that. Sure, Risho, throughout your time as a keeper, might have been on the receiving end of a couple of those.
Yeah, don't I know it, Adam? Don't I know it?
Temel stepping inside. Love when players opt to go to the near post of the keeper. It really catches off any goalkeeper off guard at that near post because you never really expect it to go that direction. Of course, Enrique Pimenta of Mournes has that in his arsenal. But Temel trying much of the same. Kursad Gula just getting involved with us somehow. Alison Lima's there. It's a definite foul. And all considered, they've been, well, perhaps just poking the bear of Pasco Vale. Alison Lima's firmly been involved with a lot of physicality. But he's remaining rather somber. He's just playing the game. Not rather getting emotional. Last time out, of course, well, it was around this time in the match where things came to a bit of a boil. So Sumsau has it across for Diaz. Could argue Pasco Vale have had much of the balance of play. The last, say, 20 minutes of futsal, inclusive of the first half. They're happy to just really have possession and try and find men up forward with long passes from this man. Sumsau and Vaz trying to combine, as they infamously do. They want a foul. It was fair to Benjamin Cullen. Sahid on for Temel. The clock slowly becoming a factor. Diaz interprets that pass intended for Gula. Vaz in a deep position. That's the on in the venture. Jimenez, Vaz one on the back. Gets it back somehow. Goes for a roll, Lucas Vaz, perhaps too much. Gula, great ball for Clanaris. Sliding as a Sumsau. He read the move nicely. Temel in possession. Sahid likes scoring from downtown, but was never going to get around the raging bull. It's Clanaris. Stadium side. Vaz takes over, the raging bull, not caught in possession. Vaz is patient. Sumsau equal to that task. Jimenez doesn't want to, can't use his keeper. Turns it over. No Tanker has called for a timeout this contest. Just picking up its pace as we cross to a short timeout break.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. You crew running around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your...
Side ball with Hume, trailing by a goal. 6 minutes and a second left on the clock. Just over a minute before stoppages. Black Armies certainly don't deserve to be behind or in front for that matter. They should be on level terms. Chichek tried to find them that journey to get them to such, and his effort was aimed for Saka on our commentary position. Quick update, of course, in the ASEAN Championships. Australia still locked at 3 apiece with Vietnam. Vaz really made Burgess unsure of it. Boot to ball, sends it away. Mattis had two-man weave pressing him. It'll be the Chichek's ball. Temel for Saheen. Can't go around Yauda Silva. Burgess again playing sweeper keeper. As the time just bleeds out, there's no rush for Paco to get the ball to Yauda Silva. We're about to enter stoppages. The second half of additional time has begun. In the ASEAN Championships, and I believe Vietnam have hit the front right from kickoff, mind you. It's very poor defending. Caught napping were the Futsal Roos. It's the first time Vietnam have led in the whole competition to an Australia rather match up, and well, the Aussies are trailing, so we'll keep an eye on that contest. We hope it's not curtains, of course, for, as aforementioned, both Scott Rogan and Corey Swall of Fitzroy. Could argue they've been two of the better players for the Futsal Roos throughout the entire campaign. Let's see if they have it inside of them to really manufacture a comeback. Sumsao and Vaz, such a sweet connection between them two. And combining yet again for a goal. Saheen down court for Karadag, who's impeded by his opposing number. The two 10s come together. Isho, as time ticks on, you'd argue Pasco Vale can close out the house and, well, take home the 3 points.
Now, anything is possible, especially with the stop clock. Hume are looking like a threat to Paco at the moment. Just to see this free kick.
Karadag for Temel. Opts to place it rather than pound it.
Yeah, well, sorry. At the moment, Hume are looking dangerous, but this really depends if they want it or not, as the quote goes on.
Lucas Vaz just kicking the ball towards the locker room. The Hume players did not enjoy that. Robocop. Sumsao topples down. He's asking Chichek what is going on. Pasco Vale, of course, lead by a goal. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. Ample time for anything to really happen. There's a Sumsao in possession. Flicks it on towards Diaz. Temel and Karadag coming together. It's well done by Karadag. Chichek rolls it back. The captain in possession. Saheen now out wide. Thumps a ball at Karadag, and his first touch went right back towards the Jet Saheen. Temel flirting with fire. He stepped inside. Falls back with Vaz, and Robocop's got a plethora of intelligence. He wants the ball to remain his and lets it roll out of play. Sumsao on for Diaz. Chandab locking things in. Nervous watch, perhaps of both the United players, joined alongside me from commentary. As Saheen gave it a hit, Jarvis Jin took no chances, it was full stretch. Now Yubity Chichek has the fifth man kit on, who's brought on, but they haven't executed the side ball adequately enough, and possession will go right back to Pasco Vale, but intent from the fifth man, showcased by Mo Tanka. Yubity Chichek was given the kit.
Oh, yeah.
And they looked to play fifth man.
Yeah, no, Mo Tankia knows, obviously, they know how to play fifth man. He's an experienced coach. UC7 has been in these positions before, but I think it's usually Michael Klanaris that plays fifth man. But I think they're going having another go, or going another way.
Jarvis Chin's going to hit the roof, but it was central. You weren't wrong at all there, Shirt. Usually is not Jarvis Chin, rather. It's usually Michael Klanaris that takes on the claims for such in goal. As well, Jarrett has departed the commentary booth. It was great having the thoughts of Saka. Of course, has a major ceiling ahead of him. What's basically his first half a year of professional futsal. Not to like about him. Timeout will be called. Mauricio Novak for Pasco Vale issuing the case this time. Pasco Vale with a 1-goal lead, but Hume are not going to go out without a fight. We'll cross back to shortly following this timeout break.
There are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future, Australia is in the top.
We return live. Camo Tanker and Company conjure up. Time ticking on. Liberty Chick has that goalkeeper shirt firmly attached to his body. Usually donned by Klanaris. In possession now is Chichek. Jet Saheen, sole man in front of the goal for Hume at the moment. Can they make the fifth man work? Chandab, initial heavy touch, works it back to Temple. Saheen has Karadag cross court. Chichek on the inside, greeted by two. Bursts through them both like they weren't there. Temel, Karadag, not the finishing touch. Hubert Chichek bulldozed his way through two Pasco Vale shirts and freed up a couple of players for Hume.
That was a very poor ball by Yusuf Karadag as well. Should have been on the ground. Hamza Chandab was clean in the middle for a good tap in, but yeah, that's very poor.
A long searching pass, not finding Diaz. Chandab in the middle of court, has to hold it up, the youngster, as he waits for Chichek to enter the fray. Karadag was not arriving at the back post, he opted to remain on his flank. 2:14 left. Australia have the backs against the wall in that ASEAN Championship contest. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left, still trailing by a goal. Put aside the Aussie bias in terms of the matches, well, general complexion, it certainly deserved to be on level terms, considering we were the side in front for some time. As Sumsao and Chichek come together, the foul tally just accumulating. Pasco Vale will have to be careful. One more foul and that's 5. Minute 59 left. Chichek still on court. Temel to Chichek. Captain has it back. Karadag, big ask. They're trying to draw numbers out. Burgess back on. Missed opportunity there, perhaps yet again, for Hume. Diaz in possession, but the Aussies have equalised in the ASEAN Futsal semi-final in Thailand. It's 4 apiece. Can Hume find an equaliser in their own right? Saheen nearly went through Jarvis Jin. But penalties might be forecast in Thailand. Can Scott Rogan and Corey Swall find themselves in a final representing the Futsal Roos? Vaz had to backtrack and kick forward. Drama occurring all over not the country, all over the world at the moment. Temel searching for Chandab. Vaz with his head heads away. Saheen, side possession. Back from Temel. They deserve an equaliser, the Black Army, it must be stated. Great reverse pass for Chandab, takes his time. Vaz with Chichek, it's getting really congested. Still with the Black Army. Temel, Chichek with a ball roll. Nearing our final minute. UC 7 with a swing and a miss. Can't say we've said that too often. But Diaz and company will look to try, just see this one out. It's been a real trademark performance from Pasco Vale. Their backs firmly against the wall, and they, until now, have found a way to not just be back in the game, but in front. Can Hume have it back on level terms for a late G of the 3 points? Temel, Saheen, back for Temel. Asked a lot with that ball. Asum South took no chances at all. Temel with the ball roll inside. Saheen reads it well. Inside the final minute. The Black Army are going to throw the sink at this one. Temel for Saheen. This is where they have to find that killer pass. Drama occurring everywhere, UC 7. Corner for Hume, and dare I say at the same time, Scott Rogan has a spot kick for the Futsal Roos. Rogan steps up, and Scott Rogan hits the post. That would have put Australia in front with 1 minute and 17 seconds left. Our very own Scotty Rogan, so close to a Futsal Roos final girth in the ASEAN Championships. The heart beats out of its chest. There's too much going on at the moment. Reverse ball for Temel, meanwhile, in Thomastown. Chichek is there, he sends it over the bar. Drama aplenty.
Adam has a lot of words right now, and I'm more speechless, but yeah, it's all over the place. Hume looking for that fifth goal, and Hume might get it here. Oh, what a save by Jarvis Jin!
Set in unison with Isho. The celebration was tremendous, enormous from the keeper. The last line of the fence. 15 seconds left. Karadag keeps it alive. Saheen is there. It hits the roof. 8 seconds left. Jarvis Jin with save of the season. Scenes about to unfold. Temel for Chichek.
Oh, he's just missed it. UC7 has hit it wide. Could have made it a draw to go to pens.
And he knows it too. His hands firmly on his head. An instant classic in Thomastown. Still seconds remain in it. Vaz will head it on. You have to go now, Bertrus. He does. But he doesn't to any avail. And Pasco Vale complete the comeback of dreams. They were 3 goals down against the wall, and the countdown had began to see themselves out the game. Pasco Vale got themselves back in it. Drama for all the wrong reasons in the first encounter between these two. This time around, it's for all the right reasons. A stellar game of futsal. Aiden Chachi will have a chat at the end. It might all blow over right at the death. We'll cross to a short break with our man of the match coming up very shortly. It's Pasco Vale the winners.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. What a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a Benz Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. I used to
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
We're joined by the Raging Bull, Jorge Arturo Diaz and Maurizio Novak. Gentlemen, you're trailing by 3 goals at one stage of that match to win eventually. Quite the performance. Your immediate thoughts?
Look, to be honest with you, we have the belief, we feel like the team can turn at any point. We did have a beginning of the game, I would say, we lacked on in a few aspects of the game. Intensity, the boys are a little bit, flat. We had a conversation, but the reality is that we all knew that we could turn at any time, and we did, Yeah, so I was really happy.
And being on court, the Raging Bull, your thoughts around that contest? It got a little bit heated towards the end. Nothing in comparison, of course, to last time you came up against Hume, but how do you find your new, say, rivals, you could argue, this season?
Well, it's always tough against them. Like every game, we know it's going to be a good battle. But as Mauro said, we just keep believing. We keep doing the work, training, and today paid off. Very, very close, but great for the boys. We keep doing the things right, training, putting the effort, and we came back from the 3-0 as you mentioned. So it's good to get the 3 points and get more secure that third spot at least for now.
And just lastly, considering the future of Pasco Vale, Oscar Yee coming through the ranks, is there any other players in particular you want to highlight going forward, moving along with the club?
Look, the system that we've been putting together right now, it took a bit of time. We came from I would say, a 3rd division, State 1, and we started building with only the seniors, And then now we decided that it's time for us to bring new talent, and we're putting a lot of time, spending time, and a lot of dedication also with the young stars, I would say. And they come into training as well, they're being rewarded with what they've been doing. And to be honest, you can see from the results from when they started the youth league to now. It's a completely different team, the way they play, boys understanding the way that we play as a seniors. Oscar is no different. He's a talented player that is being slowly putting into the squad, giving the confidence, and not just him, there will be more coming.
Beautiful. That was Maurizio Novak and the Raging Bull joining us for their post-match press conference for Pasco Vale.
To work hard, and maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
And just like that, we're at the third and final clash of round 17. The Tigers return to the Series Futsal Arena court and take on Western City. Two sides at complete opposite ends of the table. Considering that Fitzroy are down a couple of players. I'm not sure if Jimmy Soufis might actually play this evening. He has got all his playing attire on. You might just see him on your screen. I'm not sure. Of course, he loves donning the kit, but never wearing it, coming onto court rather. But we'll see if tonight's any different considering the personnel differentiation for the Tigers. Gabriel Ceballos lines up like such. It's Harry Robotis, Kevin Lamb, Sed Wicket, Cozy Russo, Josh Owen, and the Mad Cat Mazin Abdallah in goal. Sed Wicket, of course, called up upon as well for the Tigers. Noel Soma having an extensive conversation with his Western City contingent. Intran returns in between the sticks. Teresi with a brief cameo last week, nearly one to remember for Noel Soma and company, considering he had saved the two first penalties in that shootout loss. Trevor Sesmakula, Javara Nepomuceno, Ibrahim Kane, Thomas Ellis, Jose Ramon Plera, Unidola Max Cruz, Daniel Souza, and dare I say, Nam Pham, who we haven't seen in some time. No more peroxide in his hair. He's back on court. Western City have really built a strong team. Perhaps at a stage too late for them to turn it around. Considering the form of the Altona Knights, there might still be half a sniff. There'd be no better way to kickstart your relegation survival escape at the expense of the now 10-time champions, who haven't dropped a league game in, dare I say, 2 years of futsal competition. What does this final encounter have in store for us as we're underway? Jimmy Soufis has a bib on, so we might just see him involved at some stage. An update, of course, to what's happening in Thailand. It was a final minute filled of pandemonium. Scott Rogan had a penalty, had ultimately hit the post, had beaten the keeper for Vietnam. However, at the other end, it had gone completely wrong for the Futsal Roos. Meanwhile, Robotis is in very early. Just to interrupt with that disclosure of what's occurred there. Vietnam had a penalty and ultimately converted and won the game 5-4 in what was a classic. Australia will play third place playoff on, dare I say, Saturday or Sunday. At a later stage confirmed by the ASEAN Futsal Association. Of course, a full shout out to our two series futsal representatives, both of Corey Sewell and Scott Rogan, two tremendous players for the Futsal Roos, and it must be said that series futsal has quite the pedigree across not only Victoria but the country, dare I say parts of Asia. And Simon Lana had featured He's featuring for Indonesia. He had scored against Australia, mind you, in that group game between both the Futsaroos and Indonesia. His goal ultimately opened the scoring in what was a 3-1 loss to Australia. We wish, of course, Indy Brynek and Evan Salmilena are featured in the Indonesia team. All the best for their match up against hosts Thailand, coming up very shortly. If we can't win it, we want our Black Steel Papua brothers from Indonesia to take out the gold. Sesmakula. Souza waits patiently. Nepomuceno having a dance with Seb Wicket. Still going Javara, man from Curacao. Haven't seen Namfam in some time at all. No Ali Nini to speak of also for Western City. Won't be featuring this evening. So if there's a time to perhaps infiltrate Fitzroy, it'd have to be now. Considering no Scott Rogan, no Corey Swall, very light looking bench. Fitzroy, of course, are rather comfortable at the top of the summit. They don't exactly, dare I say, need to win this game and still have a genuine crack at the title. It's pretty much on lock, of course. They still have to play Moreland, but ultimately have to drop a couple of games. It's to be a real firm chance. As Souza thought about a shot now for the sniper, and of course he also to get back. So Bottis got the turn off of Namfam. And up in Messina. Flick pass for Fam. Oh, and tell you what, Mazin Abdallah, the Mad Cat, a lot of tape on his right wrist. He's a bit uncertain about the trajectory of the ball. Hence concedes the corner. Josh Allen, the captain for the evening, flicks it on. Now Wicket on a real run. Cosy Russo, they queue up Fitzroy. Josh Allen had the simple task ultimately that he couldn't take. And that's how easy it is for the Tigers to simply flick the switch and go from 0 to 100 real quick. Souza moves it on. Now it's Sesmakula. Provocative pass for Souza. Trying to flick it on for Namfam. Liking the presence, of course, of Daniel Souza. It's really now for Western City to get more life out of their more attacking players. His defensive stability. Searching pass for Sesmakula. Allen took it out the sky, went for a run. Namfam said, "You're not going nowhere, I'm here." Glad to be joined ultimately by Mauricio Novak and man of the match for Pasco Vale. Jorge Arturo Diaz. I sometimes forget his full name considering I always address him in person and on broadcast as the Raging Bull. Of course was Aidan Chachi of Pasco Vale, who was firmly involved at the last proceedings of that contest as Namfam might have caught one to the crown jewels. Lindell Max Cruz on court to defend the corner. And judging by the expression of Josh Fusco down there on the camera, perhaps it had a hit Namfam in that unforgiving region. Ozzy Russo gave it a real go. Intran has got an enormous task ahead of him this evening, considering the firepower he's up against. Of course, Jaramillo's been very sporadic in his appearances this season for City. That touch more stable with him in goal. Of course, the chemistry might not exactly be there yet with all these City players, considering they've really just thrown together in a desperate hope that Noel Solmer gets them out that relegation position. Souza takes over, and he has that tendency, dare I say, to be in an imposing position, yet not opt to shoot. He looks to opt for the pass instead. Sesmakula. Wanted to go around Robotis, doesn't do so. We should mention it's a special shout out to our third official of Michael Ciaras. He's will only be officiating championship, with tonight being his final men's series officiating duties. Regardless of what your thoughts might be of him, he's a true contributor to Futsal and Series Futsal. Dare I say, the entire shape of our sport without him would not be the same. He's been there to mould many moments. Dare I mind also cop one to the Snozzarella. If you're watching, Peter, welcome. Well measured pass from Abdallah. Robotis was isolated. Souza. Allen cuts it off, and Souza had to turn block. So Benjamin Cohen and Anas Mohammed will be in charge. This won't be the last that we see of Michael Ciaras. He'll have a somewhat consultant role, and well, he'll still be involved in championship calling. The shots is official. Messina might be a break for City. Sesmakula out wide. Bit of work to do for Trevor. But he manufactures a corner. Works it back for Souza. Messina was an option. They thought about it. They will utilise him. First time pass for Sesmakula. The mind just gets a bit confused when trying to weigh up City. Of course, it's mentioned on a weekly basis of their mass exodus. A lot of very big players and ultimately left the club. Kevin Lem, one of those, in all honesty, had departed to try and get some more experience with the Tigers. But Aren Fong, Oscar Yee, many notable absentees. Dwayne Nguyen, of course. The bulk of the club had ultimately just precipitated. You scratch your mind to think that they'd started the season the way they currently line up, the likes of Gerardo Messina, Daniel Souza, Sesmakula had come in under Noel Sommer from the start, along with Ibrahim Kanat, to real FC Carlton Heart of Season 1 in 2024 outlook to the Western City side. As they've been competitive in some games, have really not been able to showcase quality like that. Kevin Lamb rips the roof off it. You need quality in futsal. You need a player of that calibre, and Kevin Lamb against his former club absolutely thunderbolts it in. Top corner, Bintran, nothing you could do but really watch it sail on home. And City, well, they really made Fitzroy work for their opener, which has finally occurred after 10 odd minutes of futsal. Nepomuceno looking to get busy, turns inside Robotis. Allen played block. Still going is Javaro. He lets it roll for Alice. Cruz, one touch, perhaps too many. Nepomuceno try the reverse. City last week, touched upon at the start of our broadcast and throughout the Pasco Vale game, gave Paco Lions a real genuine go. Probably should have won that game in all honesty. I feel very hard done by that they hadn't. It just hadn't rolled their way. Narrow margins as Souza gets a corner. I feel like Fitzroy have a lot more quality, with all respect to Pasco Vale, when in comparison the Lions. But understaffed, and Western simply have to win. A claim handball, it might have hit Kevin Lamb, but it was natural. Josh Allen will be called upon a fair bit tonight, you feel. He's in possession now. As a glance, Cosy Rousseau also there. Lamb, bit of a heavy touch. Bottis wants to take his time. Fitzroy like doing this. They have the game on their terms. They will not give up possession. as if their lives depend on it. They'll complete every pass, but they'll make sure they keep the ball theirs. Lone goal scorer Kevin Lamb. Allen wants more forward movement, cross-court pass, splits Western City open like an old shoe. Kevin Lamb just can't seem to bundle through, and Jimmy Soufis has the bib on. And he's standing up. Just scratch your mind perhaps whether he might seem involved. Kevin Lamb had to use his keeper. Great chip ball for Robotis. It was a cushion header in reality. And Harry, at the last seconds, just took his mind off it. Jimmy Soufis just off your screen, gesturing towards said wicket to get up and get ready. Lamb moves it on. Here's Allen. Brilliant ball for Russo. He tried the flick. MVP. A lot of value to him, and would have been some finish, have it come off. Corner yet again. Here's Allen. Off his left, gave it a real smack. Only for Souza to be a recipient of it. Allen wants to find Russo. Gets it back, Allen. What about his right? Plays it off with his right instead. Epimassino holding off Russo. Lamb running at pace. Allen is there. He wanted the cut back. Jimmy Soufis a bit frustrated on our touchline with that forward move for the Tigers. Alice wants to go around. Allen does so. Still going is Alice. What a run that would have been. Also had to close the angle. But Tom Alice, well, looking threatening along that flank as he stepped inside. Of course, leave your comments. We'll have a glimpse of what's going on throughout the night. If you're on YouTube, our Ethroff viewers, welcome, of course. What's going on here? Well, Mr. Hunt just says to perhaps not with the futsal rules, in all honesty. Because if this competition equals what's occurring there at the moment, one day maybe perhaps. Sakawal Jaron, I think the emerging players across the competition. There's a real ceiling involved with the national team. Some might mention, of course, that Kosi Russo might have been robbed of a place in the side, and imagine he scored on cue. That would have been rather fitting. By the likes of some saying that it's firmly Josh Fusco. Dare I say, there might be a shout, of course, for the sniper. Still quite young in age, so there's plenty of time. Epimassino. No look pass for Ellis. He's been threatening. He's there with Locke. Locke was wicket. Got the ball taken away. Ellis thought he had it, lost it. Allen stepping inside, letting fly, deflecting out of play. It will be a corner. Gabriel Zabayos, and he's a customary form, issues a timeout right on cue as Fitzroy have a corner and are hunting their second. Across to a short timeout break.
And futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve, no? They know that, we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
So upon the resumption, Jimmy Soufis is on court. A cameo appearance for Fitzroy's real governor, if you will. Gets a taste of serious futsal action. Dare I say, it's been some time since we've seen that happen. It is on court, early movement, wanted the ball, flicks it on for Russo. That would have been some first touch. As now Nepomuceno, head down, got to work was Javaro. Effort was rather inviting, you could argue, not promising. For Abdallah to really just claim and take the sting off of. Once he was away from Jimmy Soufis. It was his only touch. He's right back onto the bench. Oh, one touch, could have been an assist almost. Cosi Russo just denying him of such. Allen wants to find Lamb further down the court. Wickets. Chip pass. Somewhat cut off by Alice. Allen, sidestep. Cosi Russo trying to be nonchalant about that pass. Alice gets away from him. Allen closes the door. Cosi Russo finds Josh Allen. And how sweet is that from the captain? All the composure in the world. It's like he's done that 1,000 times over and over again. Just one-on-one with the keeper. Ample time to shoot. Took the keeper right out the equation. And like his number, places Fitzroy 2 goals in front. Mad Cat goes for a tumble. It's Allen, the goal scorer, firmly in his defensive half. Cosi Russo, teasing ball from the sniper. It certainly had some dip on it. It's Cruz finds Nepomuceno. $1 million man. Great ball from Javaro. Max Cruz! Great move from City. Could argue deserved to finish. A carved open Fitzroy. Supremely well on that occasion. They were wide open. Some great forward movement. City with Alice trying to get busy. That's a foul. While in Western City, just not playing poorly, it must be said. 2 very routine goals from Fitzroy, but they've had their moments, City. Jerome Nepomuceno looking to provide one of the best he can as Abdallah basically handles Cosi Russo. As it goes in from Javaro, Nepomuceno. Too powerful for his former FC Carlton Hut teammate Mazen Abdallah to keep out. The man from Curaçao sends an effort with love, and it goes in for 2-1, and City have the slightest of pulses. Well, they're certainly not out this game. That's been theme of the evening. Steamed by Isho Haskell. How badly do you want it? How badly do Western City want to be right in Altona's tail? The Knights have certainly kept it open, despite being 2 games ahead of City. An automatic relegation position. Great positioning for Nepomuceno to cut off that back post pass. Javaro ball roll. Very well. Seb Wicket, like almost a Looney Tunes cartoon, completely bemused. Animated circles just going around in his head. Pereira holds it up for Cruz. He spears it back for Nepomuceno. Steps inside. Deflection. Cruz. Big save by Abdallah. Pereira is there. Western City equalise. David and Goliath, mind you. 7th against 1st. 2 goals down. It's 2 apiece. All the City players standing up. That's gone right against the script if you're Gabriel Sabas and Fitzroy. How will the champions respond? Robotis for Allen. A real spring in their step now. Very critical, must be said, of Jose Ramon Pereira's game, but he's been fairly involved until Fitzroy, within a matter of seconds, following the corner, reinstall a lead like it's nothing. Kyle Sorma calls for a timeout. Josh Allen gets his second. And just as City had found some momentum, Fitzroy, with a real reminder to everybody about how good they really are. We'll cross to a short timeout break. So from the kickoff, the timeout about to tick down. Western City with a, well, they looked as if there was a bit of momentum building towards their way, but ultimately it's Fitzroy who inevitably just, well, dialed up the pressure and found a swift response. You wonder how much of a push City can really give them tonight. They're certainly right for the taking. Nam Pham gave some dip. A bit too central and out of region for a real hit. The full fluency is Lamb, cross court, Robotis called upon here. Preda, strong and fair, wins the ball. Bites off more than he can chew, but recovers. Canet keeps it alive. Javara tried to be crafty, Robotis is there. His cross court pass for Pham's cut off. Heavy pressure from Nepomuceno, pushes Lamb like a schoolboy off the ball. And in challenge, Benjamin Cullen's trying to restore order. Javara just getting rolled up, you could argue. Knows what tonight really means. Robotis, nice small measure on the pass. It's ultimately cut off. Kane believes it's his ball, with Kevin there having the final touch, and that's exactly what Benjamin Cullen also agrees with. Kane has it rolled back, and Cozzy Russo in the right place. Now Allen got his angle to get the shot away. And it's gone in. It looked as if it hit the side of the net. In fact, the effort was too powerful in truth, and it's a 2-goal reinstalled for Fitzroy. Bin Tran, well, his handling on that occasion has let him down, you could argue. Western City find themselves back to square one, chasing the game by 2 goals. Tell you what, from this angle, dare I say, it looks as if it hit the side netting. It's Cozzy Russo, usually the sniper. Well, he's aimed for something completely different. Messino stepping forward. Kevin Lamb, pass was for Canet. Nearing our final 90 seconds. The first half of round 17, Nepomuceno. Thought, why not? Cozzy also was quite clearly in his way. It's Preda on for Nepomuceno. Canet on the flank. And moving inside with Chavaro. Just not too sure where to go. So he's got that smile on his face. It's one of confusion. Well, can Noel Soma really look to polarise his players with Pereira. Good hold-up play from the target. Kevin Lamb has kept that ball in. Demo verify that from our commentary position. Had remained alive by the skin of the ball. Josh Allen only has Kevin Lamb. Has to go deep instead. This is where City have to simply just say why not and go for it. Canet, one of the foul. Play resumes with Russo. It's a nice save by Tran. It's not kept out. Russo hits the crossbar. Robotis is there. Namfam wants to escape. Collides with Kevin Lamb. Canet keeps going. Upheld by Allen. Seconds left. A bit to unpack. Dare I say, good officiating. The play just kept alive. Seconds tick down. You have to go down Javaro. He steps inside. There was options on, but ultimately the whistle will beat everybody. Can't say City are out of it. Scoreboard reads 4-2 in favour of Fitzroy as we turn for home on round 17. If there's a time for a Western City miracle, it's simply tonight. Join us shortly after this halftime break.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a Benzo. Red I'll be in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because and futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level. So you have to work hard every day. It's detailed.
At a payphone, trying to see if Western City have what it takes. They have another half of futsal to complete what is a tall order, arguably the tallest of the lot. It's their life in the big time. What could be on the cards of coming to a close for the meantime. The potential relegation to the championship just looking very likely. But of course, given the recent form of Altona, the way things are panning out there, you simply don't know what can happen. And looking at the run-in, of course, to the final few games left in the season, it's pretty much open to what could actually happen. And that's a great ball from Robotis. Alan Mosaic have a second chance. He will step inside. Fitzroy will take their time ultimately. And Cosy Russo looked for the penultimate finish at the end of it. Real swagger about his play. Symbolised in what would have been a nice goal scored by the MVP of last season. Ses Makula, provocative, wants Souza, now Pham. Bit of court rust perhaps. Well, Western City will take on Moreland same time next week for round 18. They'll take on Western United in the round that follows. They'll have a bye for round 20. And they'll have it all to play for against Altona. Of course, Altona having, well, they have Pasco Vale, a side in which it's had their number, must be said, throughout this season. The Knights also have a bye heading into the final stages of the year as they'll take on Fitzroy right before their clash against City. So it's imperative, you could argue. Wins for both sides. Altona win against Pasco Vale next week. Well, that's pretty much it. Dare I say, for the 7th place position, it will become mathematically impossible. Currently, still remains half a chance. Just scratch your mind with Western City, considering how close they were last week. I can't stop myself from banging on about it. They were simply too close, especially against the Knights. A contest in which Altona had really rocked up for, and all considered, it's arguably their best performance this season. As Peda pulls one back. Lol Sorma high-fiving his bench. There's a bit of belief brewing almost. Fitzroy, of course, they're always going to be Fitzroy. They can do what they like when they like. It's just a matter of how desperately they want it. And that's how desperately it is for them to, well, inflict despair on their opponents. Also, practically from kickoff, hits the post. It's always such a threat with Fitzroy. They might not be playing at their fullest capacity. They don't simply need to. That's how good they've become. The likes, of course, of Western United and their youth ranks they're building. Pasco Vale, of course. Affirmating words mentioned by Maurizio Novak and Turo Jorge Diaz. There's a lot of built belief and aspirations with those clubs that also compete in the serious futsal competition. Fitzroy narrow win on yet another league title. 11th in club history across the men's competition. And they might just do it yet again in some fashion without incurring a loss. But of course, there's still heaps of time left in this one.
Classico that was recently played out of too much drama. And mourned were millimetres, not even inches, millimetres away from having Fitzroy on ice with a 2-goal lead. And Apostolakis on commentary side had gone over the top, only to hit the bar. Well, that's how close they were to really setting things up. Bottis, his chip won't go very far. Preda has a goal already. Confronted by 2, and you have to make Sesmakula stretch. Javara back on court. If there's one man to do it for Western City, you feel like his name is written all over that box. Allen will search for Robotis. Great flick for Cozzy. Russo goes round the keeper. Easy as you like. Bintran, a deer in headlights. In all honesty, what do you simply do when the Tigers are in position to gobble up the chance? Do you make yourself big? Do you preempt the movements of the player? It's all too quick, and well, you just don't know what they're going to do, but you know the outcome will always be the same. An end and a goal. On a 2-goal margin that Western City have to chase. Messino, great hold-up play from the target. Souza thought about it. And his thoughts might have got the better of him. Tram will rekindle with Souza. Messino steps inside. Sesmakula goes out to the locker room, and it's a corner for City. There's Nepomuceno, cross court, Souza. Was clever enough to go around Robotis. Russo read it like a book. It's firm upon his defensive marker on that occasion was Souza. Russo took a tumble. Play will reignite. The upcoming Western Derby, if results predicted go their respective ways, could be a classic for the ages, considering what both clubs from the west of town are playing for. One for guaranteed safety, one for the possibility of safety, being a position in the relegation playoffs. What a story it would be if City could execute it, but it's looking a task mighty hard. Fitzroy are somewhat so dismissive in this contest, considering, well, they've been tested. City have found goals, but for each time of asking, Fitzroy have simply, when confronted, just had such a swift response. Sesmakula gets it off Allen. There's numbers now. Nepomuceno's in, and he sends the Mad Cat into a mad flurry. Gill to golden opportunity for Javari Nepomuceno to at least get the ball in the net. Opted for power rather than placement. That's the kind of player and persona he embodies. As Alice, that was shaping to go in. Wicket was there. Sesmakula got round Dallin, not round the touchline. Inside his D. And Dalla tees it up. Opting to try find Russo at the back post of Bintran. Now Ellis. Managerial side back towards a more middle region. On the flank now, Javara, crowd side, wants to step in. Does so. Gets his shot away. Scramble at goal inside the real firm fibres of the D, and it's Mazin Abdallah with the double save. City still asking questions. Can they find an answer? Nepomuceno, bouncing effort. Russo, such a good read of play. He goes around the logo. Bintram with a big save. That's required. And it was executed on that occasion. Bintram was quick to react. Certainly what he did. Wicket left alone. Lamb barely had to look. Tram will parry away. Sess McCullough's isolated. He has to go around two. Works it back for Allen. Here's Seb Wicket. Anas Mohammed just saying the ball has to go back a little bit. Souza has to be a bit more aware of Chavaro because Messino loves an no-look pass behind him. Sess McCullough, not much around him. Messino thought about getting in a more advanced area to get his shot away. Here's Max Cruz. Messino. Alice involved firmly with some interplay, trying to ask some questions. Fitzroy sitting firmly off. It's inviting for Western City to come forward. Max Cruz stepping inside on the logo. Out towards Nepomuceno, swapping flanks. Central is Javaro. His back heel's going to go afray. Russo will read. Allen will arrive. At the back post is Wicket, who ultimately sent into an octopus stance. The ball well and truly stuck behind him. His forward momentum just shifted the winger away from the inviting pass as Cruz is trying everything. City are valiant, but they're just being held at a real arm's length at the moment. Wicket, Russo. Cruz in front. Just scratch your mind. Let us know in the comments, of course, what you think City need, or what they can do rather, to get themselves at least on level terms. Might need this man to ignite. Sess McCullough trying to run rampant. Runs into a former teammate. Wickets. Lamb on for Russo. Wicket might be in. It's another big save by the keeper. It's put on a plate, but ultimately, in the end, it somehow ricochets all the way back to the Mad Cat, who's willing to exchange one of his 9 lives. Play still remains with the Tigers. Loose ball now. Alice goes round Lamb. Out of play. Sess McCullough steps in front of Robotis. Javaro Nepomuceno around Harry Robotis. Kevin Lamb. No, it was Max Cruz rather. That was there. It was Seb Wicket who was backtracking. Not sure how Kevin Lamb came to mind. He was on the opposite side of court. As Cruz with Allen. It's going to be Fitzroy's ball right in front of their bench. 10 minutes left of round 17. Lamb, Russo. Gets it back is Kevin Lamb. Bintran again. Too many times the keeper's been called upon for City. To his credit, holding his own for the meantime. Russo steps inside. Another save. Kevin Lamb tried to ensure that a real venomous effort off the volley was going to beat his former teammate. Nothing doing. Such great technique, of course, with Kevin Lamb. Athleticism, also to boast. Haven't seen him yet reach his full potential. I reckon he might do it in Fitzroy colours. Russo steps inside. Yet again. Same record keeps playing. Bintram, big save. Big moments needed from City. Where's their spark? Allen has options. He went solo. Messino. Crowd side from Sess McCullough. No look pass. It works for Cruz. It was a great move from City, probably the best they've distributed in some time. And I tell you what, they weren't too far off. Now Lem, ball on a string, nearly lost it, has lost it. Gets it back from Pereira. Fizzes it across the face. And dare I say, his shin pad to come off. Unbelievable. He's thinking, where is it? It's come off him. That is a moment which we won't forget it too darn quickly. Pinchard had to throw it out behind his goal. He went further than the ball. Russo, bit of skill. Has Kevin Lem on for the pass. Bintran counts his lucky stars. And that surely has to kickstart the heart of Western City. Nepomuceno, angle's getting tight. The post will rattle coast to coast. And nearly a goal to put them back in striking distance of being on level terms. Kevin Lem gets his shin pad back. Bintran initially gestured to throw it away. Seb Wickett, his replacement. On with the futsal, nearing stoppages. Allen's aimless long ball won't find Wickett. Noel Sorma and the script welders have to have a handshake and see what can be negotiated. And Pham nearly winding back to his best. Gave it a good go. Some venomous dip on it. Also space ahead of him with both Allen and Wickett. They momentarily collide. Robotis back in possession. Harry edges forward. They get some space further up the court. Also ultimately sends it out of play. $1 million Max Cruz moves it on. Nam Pham. Stalking down, Allen goes to his gates. Pereira. Great hold-up play. Nepomuceno. Tigers flurry back. Give and go with Cruz and Javado. Dancing shoes are on for Nepomuceno. Flicks towards Cruz. Gets a bit too conducive. Right on the parameter of the D. All got a little bit tricky. As Russo interprets it well. Robotis moves it on. Allen back to the man aforementioned, Robotis. Also so casual, so cool. Really starting to enter a league of his own. Interpretation from Pham is adequate. He also finds Allen. Full steam ahead is Josh Allen. And he might have just said, good night, Irene. Once he put his head down and got to work. JA number 2, if you will. Rifles at home. It's a very cruel finish, it must be stated. As we enter stoppage time, and City have their grandest margin to chase. That of 3 goals. It's 6-3 on the scoreboard. As Robotis kept his role until Benjamin Cullen caught it back. Oh, it's really hard to really determine which way you ruffle the feathers of the Tigers. Many have tried, many have failed. Time and time again, despite being rather thinner than usual this evening. It's an opportunistic moment perhaps for City. Allen from the dead ball will fire it to Bintran. Throws it right back to the path of the goal scorer. Robotis, angles were tight from Tran, he's done well. So the Madcap. He gave it a genuine hit. Would have dipped in if it was on target. Fortunately enough for City, it wasn't. Valiance, of course, with City. It's been said week and week again. Something ultimately has to give. Just not sure who's going to come against us. Russo
and Fam come together. Fam knows that was late, but Anas Mohammed has sent Nam Fam for a march. Red card for Nam Fam. Away he goes. He can't, well, believe it, but, well, it certainly looked to be rather late. Russo isn't too surprised. Fam knew he was late, but didn't think it was enough to warrant a red, but that has been the call made by the official. And off Nam Fam trots. Worse, well, don't think it can get any worse considering current state of affairs. Fitzroy have an extra player on court. City have to try and weather the storm. Their best result here is to not concede and wait a couple of minutes. Fitzroy are going to ultimately pick apart and dissect Western City. It's not so much when they're going to score a two. Ultimately, they're just taking their time. They're going to really lick their chops with this one. Allen will want to involve Lamb. Works it back to Russo. If you're at home watching this, perhaps just count how many passes starting now. Before they ultimately take the shot on. Well, it was only a couple. Perhaps Cosy Russo himself got bored. He doesn't even need half an angle. It's a pristine finish from Cosy Russo. Something in which, of course, we see time and time again. The Imperial Generals of this competition. Futsal masters they're becoming. Might be arguments to say they've already become. I may ask this rhetorically each waving week, but in the comments, let me know, please. How does a team simply beat Fitzroy? I know it's a tall order for Noel Sommer and company. Jonathan Sakos gave it a real genuine go. Not too sure, to be frankly honest, what can be done about it all. What's the Marquette got to offer? He gave it a genuine go again. 6 points in a different code. 2 minutes 51 left on the clock. Sliding doors moments perhaps that might come to Horn City. Despite all the chances they had, they might have one here. Preda twisting, turning, not goaling. Souza. Shred's come a long way and ultimately the right decision. Those sliding doors moments perhaps might come to bite. Western City right in the backside. Match against Altona was close. Loss against Pasco Vale. Despite that eye on commentary, have to remain rather neutral. Nothing neutral about that. It's been bundled in inadvertently. Daniel Souza will claim it. There's half a chance maybe. Might want to divide that yet again. They need 3 goals in under, well, roughly 2.5 minutes. Never say never, of course, but you just feel as if Fitzroy have had them at an arm's length. City's recent patch of form, they've penned such competitive losses. Dare I say, they don't, until this point, deserve to be the side that ultimately succumbs to relegation. The first half of the season was very poor. There's not many words I can use that are appropriate perhaps, but I'm sure you can imagine them. Since they sort of got their mojo, players clicking, looked very good. A whole different team, you could argue. Spearheaded by this man, Nepomuceno goes around everybody. The Javaro show in full effect. The man from Curacao, as cool as you like. Well, there's 90 seconds and 2 goals in Western City. Now is that time. Put it all on the table. Nepomuceno gets it back from Pereira. Reverse pass for Alice. They score in the next, say, 20 seconds. It's a genuine possibility. Confusion. Clearance. Suddenly it's come to life. Alice. Nepomuceno. That goal, the momentum shifter. Perhaps left too late. Russo reads the game supremely well. Such an intelligent player as Cosy Russo. Josh Allen wants to go around Nepomuceno. Inside our final minute for round 17. Sousa steps inside. That's exactly where he has to shoot. Not sure why he doesn't. Alice, bit of a task ahead of him. Fine footwork to try conjure up a pass to Nepomuceno. Sousa lurking at the back stick. Look to come across. Robotis is there. Alice can't spin away. Lamb's going to go round. Benjamin Cullen with a card for Javari Nepomuceno. But they had played advantage. 31 seconds left. For a glimmer of a hope, City have to find a goal very soon. Lamb with a turnover. Could have had it really beyond questionable doubt. They have to be perfect from here, you feel. Long ball for Pereira, and Dalla came. Bit of a punch involved, you know. Now, Solma's asking questions. Abdallah, we know he likes to play by the sword. But Pereira might have got a chunk of that, you know. Not being checked. But it must be said, for a moment, it looked as if that could have gone anyway. It's filled at Pereira. Oh, Soma believes it could have been perhaps a possibility of a dead ball opportunity. Right up in the centre, not happy with Anas Mohammed. Ultimately, the call goes Fitzroy's way. It might be the die cast on this one. Cosy also in possession, look to bleed out the clock. 11 seconds left. It's a whole different narrative, of course, if the scores are one more goal to the good. If it was 7-6, it'd be a bit more sting in it. Even for that who scored our City, simply no time left. Is there a consolation prize, perhaps? Alice wanted to step inside. Robotis bears down, but it won't matter. Fitzroy, without Swool, and their captain, Scott Rogan, get the job done. Jimmy Sufis makes his cameo appearance, which he nearly carved out an assist from. It's stated yet again that Western City go down competitively. How their season pans out, it's all to be played out. Full time on round 17. Fitzroy 7, Western City 5. Our post-match player press conference to round out the show.
Good players, so they have to work hard and maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
3, 2. And we're joined by Kevin Lamb, who opened the scoring this evening. Kevin, against your former club, the 3 points for Fitzroy. Your immediate thoughts?
It's always good to verse old friends. It's always competitive, and yeah, it was a good game. They made it really hard for us with only like 2 subs, but we got the job done.
Judging by the sweat dripping down your forehead at the moment, a real hard-fought victory, it's sure, but what was the most challenging part about that victory earned tonight for Fitzroy?
Just having 2 subs and just managing the game, like throughout the whole game. We knew it was going to be a long game with 2 subs, but we just had to manage it really well with the guys out. And yeah, we played really well.
Just lastly, on an individual point, your first season in Fitzroy colours, how would you say it's gone from your point of view?
I think it's been really good. I'm learning really well, trying to adapt to the team as much as I can. Really grateful to be around so many good players, you know, and learning from Jimmy as well.
Appreciate your time, Kevin Lamb of Fitzroy. That rounds out the show for round 17. Until next Friday, we'll join you back on our coverage on We're Froth and YouTube. Till then, thank you and good night.